straight through to the final. Next chance is the semis, where the winners go through. And if you still haven't found your mojo, you get one more chance in the LCQ, the last chance qualifier, where the top 2 go through to the final. Of course, the first across the line to see the checkered flag is the winner of the event. And the guy at the end of the year with the most points is your Nitro Rallycross Global Champion. If you didn't get any of that because you're looking at your phone, don't worry. Coley and I will be your tour guides for the season. All you really need to know is Nitro Rallycross is gnarly. That's the format, and that's how it all works. Let's take a look back how we kick things off here at day 1.
First ever battle bracket qualifying in the FC1X. This will set the order for tomorrow's racing. OC Vavy versus Ollie Bennett. A little bit of contact in the first corner saw Vavy facing the wrong way, and it was an easy win for Bennett and Excite Energy Racing. Next up, it was Robin Larsson versus Niklas Gronholm. A baptism of fire for the Finn. He'd never even sat in the car until this very morning. Larsson had the better of him until Gronholm tried his nitro boost to pass him on the way up the hill. The Swede saw him coming, pushed him wide at the hairpin, and the RX Cartel went through to the next round. Excite Energy Racing teammates Ollie Bennett and Chris Meek fought it out in the next one. It was an easy win for the WRC star. It was teammates again in the next battle, Martel versus Pastrana. Martel went defensive in the first corner. Travis Pastrana did Travis Pastrana things and went all the way round the outside. Pastrana got too leery in the Joker lap. Martel took the win on the road, but was later penalised, so Travis goes through. Andreas Backerud versus Fraser McConnell was a fantastic battle from start to finish. Into each other in the first corner, and in the very last corner of the last lap, McConnell tried this audacious move around the outside. It didn't pay off, and it's Backerud who wins. The last of the quarterfinals saw Robin Larsson versus Ollie Eriksson. Ollie tried this incredible super slide around turn 1. Larsson responded, nudged him just a little bit wide. Over the jump, they were still close together, but it was Larsson who was victorious and goes through to the semis. First semi-final was Chris Meek versus Travis Pastrana. Meek got the better start, Pastrana jokered. And as the tactics played out, Chris just kept it super tidy. The rally driver keeping the door closed on Travis Pastrana and taking the first of the semi-final wins. Made easier when Pastrana made a mistake up in Cheson's Drift. RX Cartel outing for the next one. Robin Larsson got the whole shot ahead of Andreas Backerud. Backerud jokered to try and get the overlap. It was super close at the finish, but the Swede held on the standard lap. So it's Larsson versus Meek for the final. The final wasn't what anybody wanted to see. Chris Meek unfortunately didn't get away from the line, so Robin Larsson absolutely dominated, and it is him who takes the first ever top qualifier in the FC1X.
Well, a guy who qualified 4th yesterday, coming into today's race, it's going to be a little bit different. It's now all about pack racing. How comfortable are you driving this thing in the pack?
Very comfortable. I think everyone got used to the FC1X really quickly. I was worried coming over. I didn't know, well, much about anything. The starts are still, it's a space shuttle launch again, and it's kind of refiguring out. But everyone's really in the same boat. Meek hasn't had a lot of driving like motocross style in a pack, but he's been phenomenal this whole time. So he's been the quickest really through qualifying. Unfortunate events at the end of that qualifying, but so we're going to see. Hopefully we can go 1-2 with Martel and I to get Vermont Sports Car in, but it's going to be a heck of a battle, and we're going to learn as we go.
And learning as you go, of course, we're also seeing some of these track changes with the temps dropping. How is that going to affect the racing?
Everything affects everything. I'm literally still trying to figure out kind of what all the buttons do, but at the end of the day, it's driving, and it's been really cool because these cars have so much acceleration. Everyone has more power than they know what to do with, so it's trying to figure out how to get that power to the ground and to do it consistently. So it's been a lot of fun. Everyone you can throw a blanket over first to last, and we all still believe we can win, so we'll see what happens.
It's an even playing field here today with these cars especially, guys.
Well, Cola, we have the stars, we have the cars, and we have the history. I mean, this is essentially your home track. You got to love this place.
Yeah, I do. This is like an hour and 20 from where I live. You know, this is where the sport was invented. There's a lot of history here, and it's just, for me, it's great to bring the series over to the UK. I'm loving it.
I'm wearing my bright-colored, Hawaiian-looking shirt because I'm trying to bring the heat. You're in a hoodie. We have the weather, but also this is the future. But we saw those awesome Group B cars, which is basically the history of this track.
Yeah, we saw the Group B cars earlier on, RS200s, Metro 6R4. before, so you've never seen it, Google it. There's a lot of good videos out there. But Group E, that's like our version of Group B. That's where the name comes from. You know, those were the most extreme rally cars ever made, and we've made what we think is the most extreme EV competition vehicle ever made.
Yeah, that's awesome. So again, the hallowed grounds, that is Lydden Hill. This place has so much history. We're seeing the future today, but let's write, I mean, who better to talk about a little love letter to the track, to the history, Group E rally car, and this iconic track, than Mr. Mega, Andrew Coley.
We are at Lydden Hill. About 60 miles that way is London. Big Ben, red phone boxes, the Queen, you know, British stuff. About 6 miles that way are the White Cliffs of Dover, and we've stolen a chunk of that to make a massive jump, because this, of course, is Nitro Rallycross. Now, Lydden Hill is steeped in rallycross history. The first ever race was won here by Vic Elford in 1967. We're going to write a new bit of history by starting Group E here. Who better to show us around the track than Conor Martell?
We're at the Nitro Rallycross race at Lydden Hill, and this is going to be a flying lap. And just so everybody knows, I have a classic Group B car chasing me down and keeping me honest. So first turn here, you have a really cool bank Talladega turn is what we call it. Big slides and basically full throttle all the way through here, up to the jump. Cut over the grass, left-hander up to the hill. A little bit wide there, full power, push to pass, gives us 100 kilowatts more power, really hard braking into the hairpin at the top of the hill, touch the inside curb, touch the outside curb, to get it to about 103 miles an hour down at the bottom here. Hard braking. This is a really crucial turn. Point it in once the car's straight, full throttle, and use as much of the track you can, so curb. Awesome track here at Lydden Hill, and super excited for the weekend.
Wow, what a beautiful, exciting story right there. You've seen Conor Martell enter into this Group E. We're getting ready here at game day. It's going down here at Lydden Hill. I'm Jared Deanda, of course, Andrew Coley. We have our other member. I'm so excited. I can just feel it. Again, earlier there was threatening of rain. It might drizzle a little bit, but you know why Snoop Dogg carries an umbrella? For drizzle. So if he was here, he'd have it as well. But we're getting ready for Group E, our heats 1 and 2. And there we are. We are seeing our 5 vehicles here in Heat 1. We'll see 5 vehicles, the FC1X all-electric, 1,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive machines. Coley, who do we have there on row 1, 2, and 3?
So this is, we've got 5 cars in this one, and the 2 lead cars, so the 2 first cars over the line will go through to rows 1 and row 2 of the final. So they will qualify straight to the final, the top 2 from this first heat race, and then again from heat race 2. So that gets us 4 of our 8 finalists. Later on in the day, each of the semi-final winners, which is the next set of races, if you like, after these, there'll be 3 cars in each of those, and only the winner will go through, and then we'll get the LCQ at the end, which will have 4 cars in, and 2 of those cars will go through. So there's plenty of opportunities, but it can go wrong pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, do the math here. 10 cars, only 8 cars advance on.
Here we go, and here is the lineup for the first heat race for Group E, and the first ever heat race, remember. We've had 2 cars on track. We got 5 cars on track this time. So on the front row, we have Chris Meek and Andreas Backerud. Row 2 is Ollie Eriksson and Fraser McConnell. And row 3 is Ola Christian Veiby. Right, here we go. Go time. 5 cars into turn 1. We haven't done this so far. They're going to have their eyes up on those lights. Here comes the board out. There's less for them to do than there was in Supercar, but there is still very much a start procedure for these guys to get the cars away. They've got to get the throttle position in just exactly where they want it. And then we'll see them launch off down to turn 1. 0 to 60 in these things is under 2 seconds.
Absolutely exciting. And the way they launch, and we have the debut of our new Send It light here. You spell it out, and that is Nitro, and then they're going to send it literally as we are going to see. I'm really excited. Who do you have your money on here? Meek, Backerud, who's it going to go down? Oliver Ericsson, Fraser McConnell, OC Vibey, and we are ready to send it. Here we go.
Great
the
start
first ever
Backerud
heat.
on the front row, moving across in the background. Ericsson goes to the inside, contact between him and Backerud. Baby gets pushed around by Ericsson. Fraser McConnell out of the wall. Baby's ended off as well. 2 out of the 5 cars off in turn 1. It's a pretty carnage start, but Chris Meek, the rally driver, managed to get the whole shot. Backerud hits the bollard in the background. That might see him get a 3-second penalty. So at the minute, it's Meek, Backerud, and Ollie Ericsson bringing up the rear. Baby and Fraser McConnell are both going pretty slowly, so I reckon problems for them in turn 1.
Yeah, a big traffic stop there going to that Talladega turn. We haven't talked about that. What we saw yesterday, a lot of the cars rotating there in Talladega turn, but when they hit that pavement portion of the track, watch how much late braking. And yesterday, talking to the drivers, they're saying late braking actually didn't work out. Be smooth. It's all about braking early and carrying that speed through.
Yeah.
Look at Meek flying through.
It's very much a circuit style of racing. Ollie Ericsson's gone Joker straight away. That's a good tactic by him because behind him the other 2 cars have got problems. So Ericsson might as well get himself some clear space, try and chase down Backerud and Meek in front. Meek was sideways through that last corner. The track's been damped down, Jared, plus the rain as well. It's not a lot, but it will make a difference to the grip levels.
Yeah, you can see just in between the battles, the heats, and all the different exhibitions between Group E, next car, all the different vehicles, they went down the track, and this is probably the best it's going to be. Hasn't been beat up tremendously. It's been groomed properly. Now, how important is this heat? Because you really want to kind of set it and forget it. Make sure you're in the final, having rather than going to semis or LCQ.
Backerud goes straight to the Joker Lab. It's really important, Jared. We ride on board with Chris Meek, the leader, pops it up over the curbs. It's flat out through that section now. Backerud comes out the Joker. He's in front of Ollie Ericsson, so those gaps are spreading out a bit. Now it's about whether or not Meek can hold enough time in front of Backerud to get back out in front of him.
I want to ask you, Coley, what do you think the fastest line is through Talladega turn? That's the point of contention that we saw yesterday. How important is it to really dial it in on Talladega?
I think it depends where the other cars are as well, Jared. You know, yesterday we saw Pastrana go right the way around the outside. He pulled it off. We saw Ollie Ericsson try and he didn't pull it off. But this is what everybody loves about the Nitro circuits. The big bank corners, that's what we've done up at Chester's Drift. As you see Meek laying down the black rubber. Definitely some rain spots on. Meek's going to go Joker this time. He responds to Backerud immediately.
Oh,
good
boy.
Call by the spotters. He's tight on the inside. Watch for the merge now as Backerud not enough to get side by side. Meek's just going to try and shut the door. Backerud is inside him though on the run into turn 1 and Backerud's got it.
Oh, Backerud shoves Meek out of the picture. Backerud takes that higher line. Let's see if Meek can slide back in. It looks like he is regaining and gets his second position. You just want to be in those top 2, so that's how critical that is. This is the final lap, so who's going to get the checkered? And you can see Ericsson, he's chopping at the bit. The battle is for... Oh, we got a penalty.
Backerud's been given a 3-second penalty, so despite passing Chris Meek, and Vaby moves over to let them through, he's a lapped runner now. Backerud's going to drop back. I also think the stewards... That turn 1, did Backerud turn out? If he turned out into Meek, he's in trouble. If it was just deemed as sideways contact, he won't be. Chris Meek didn't do a bad job. You know, bear in mind he's used to rally stages on his own. He gets nerfed off over the top of the banking. Backerud takes the checkered flag. Meek in P2. P3's going to go Ericsson, but...
3 seconds. But you look at the time slip there, 3.3 seconds. Ericsson was in third. I think Backerud still might hold on to that second spot given the 3-second penalty. So I think Meek will jump up. Again, unofficially, Meek will jump up. Backerud goes to second. Ericsson, look at that, 3.8 seconds, 3.08 seconds. So 0.08, again, unofficially, all speculation. I honestly don't think that Backerud was malicious in turning into Meek. They both came in hot. He gave way, and you always talk about this, the traditional race line, not the Joker, has the priority over the Joker lap re-entry.
It does at the merge, but of course it was. So for me, the merge is at the start-finish line. So after that, and then Backerud's at the inside. Yeah,
I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he knows the news.
No, maybe not. So it hasn't updated on the timing screen, but okay, so we've seen 2 things. So Group E, turn 1 contact under review, but that might be the turn 1 at the start of the race, Jared, because don't forget there was contact there as well, and then we are seeing a 3-second penalty confirmed for Backerud. So Backerud is going to drop, we reckon, don't we? Where did you say? Down to
I think he'll go to second. And then Meek will jump up, right? So because you saw those time slips there, and then it was literally 3.08 seconds that Ericsson was back. So Backerud will still gain that second position. So even as a lady, you saw the squint of his eyes. I think he's just pumping his fist because we just made history. That is history being made there. We have never seen 5 all-electric 1,000 horsepower FC1Xs run together, and we're gonna see 8. That like just building
looking forward to
right. I mean, like, come on. If the hair on your arms has got to be standing up here. Look at this, Coley. History being made.
So it was an unbelievable start from Vaby. So Vaby in the background, I thought it was, initially I had thought that it was Ericsson who'd got into background, but it wasn't. Vaby got an incredible start from the back of the grid, Jared, and literally went past the row in front of him. Now that's that electric power off the line, definitely. You never see someone go up a whole row and a half. This was the merge with Meek and backwards. So Meek squeezing him a bit. There's no contact here. Now backwards alongside. No, I'm not sure there was any maliciousness in that either. Backward is turning in, so no, there isn't for me. That's not. Yeah. You know, did Chris turn in on Andreas or did Andreas run wide? Either way, if you watch Andreas' steering, he is turning right the whole way through turn 1. So I reckon he'll be okay, but he's still got that 3-second penalty, so the win's going to go to Chris Meek.
And
so second grid then. Neither of these races is easy. I looked at this morning. I thought, okay, you know, has somebody got a good race? Yeah, has somebody got a better semi-final? But they haven't.
So I'm looking down in the cockpit. Pastrana's got a horn, and he's going nit, 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 nit. He's down there. He's throwing the horns. His focus is on now. Watch this hand grip. Like, he holds on to that the handbrake there. He lets it go, and he actually leaves his hand kind of there, hovering for a little bit. But let's take a look at this grid. You're seeing 2 VSC vehicles, the Vermont Sports Car. So on that front row here in Heat 2, you got Travis Pastrana and Robin Larson, who won the bracket battles yesterday. Next to him in that second row, you got Connor Martell and Ollie Bennett. We saw Ollie Bennett and his excited teammate Meek grab that win. And then finally in that final row, Nicholas Grunholm, who just
Okay, race 2 about to go then down on the line. We're about to get the 30-second board and then the 10-second board. Jared, who's your money on?
All right, so Nicholas Grunholm, who is brand new to the whole FC1X as of yesterday. I mean, he only had a few turns and burns in that vehicle, so excited to see how he throws down here as the 30-second card is out. Let's see who comes out on top. Again, what's at stake? You want to be first or second to advance on into the finals. Get the fast pass so you don't have to deal with semifinals or the LCQ. 10 cars, only 8 cars in the final. 10-second card is out. Coley, let's get hyped. Here we go.
So keep your eyes then on that Nitro launch panel up on the start. Here it goes, N-I-T-R-O. Then it's a random gap to when it goes green. Who's going to get away best? Great start by Robin Larson. Martel on the inside of his teammate Travis Pastrana around the outside. Ollie Bennett shuts the door on Pastrana. Up into turn 1. Pastrana looks like he's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Did that yesterday. Robin Larson down low, holding on to the position though. Pastrana comes up from 4th into P2. Contact in the background for Martel, runs off. And Gronholm's up into P4. So Pastrana right up behind Larson as they go down to the Devil's Elbow.
What was really great about Pastrana's move is he says, all right, you guys go ahead and fight it out. I'm going to be up here on this bank and drop into there. And that's exactly what he did. So Larson holds on to that lead. He got such a great hole shot, and he avoided all the contact and all the damage. But Pastrana's sitting in second. Ollie Bennett sitting in third. Connor Martell, unfortunately, he's all the way to the back.
His start was absolutely brilliant, as was Vaby's in the previous race. Remember, both those cars are run by JC Race Technique with Duro and Reinbold Racing, so maybe they've dialed something in on the starts. Through the Joker lap goes Nicholas Grunholm and Connor Martell. 3 laps left for them to try and chase down. Pastrana is still right there with Robin Larson. Larson was defensive on the brakes at the top of the hill. He just had the door closed a little bit, Jared. He's just got to get the lap times in now. Larson's looking really good.
Yeah, Larson's looking clean. He's tight. He's got a lot of confidence in his corner as they hit that A-Shock energy jump. The attitude of the vehicles, they're landing flat, they're landing clean. You know, when Travis Pastrana, both yesterday and even after yesterday, he's talking about, look, no disrespect. This is the Mona Lisa of Rallycross. If we built a huge, massive gap jump craziness, that's like putting a mustache on the Mona Lisa. He's giving respect where respect is due, but he still wants to make it nitrified, as we have said.
He goes into the Joker lap now, Jared. So him and Bennett have both gone Joker, trying to defend from Nicholas Grunholm, who's absolutely flying. Grunholm slots into P3, just behind Pastrana at the merge as they go back onto the loose. Grunholm going up high on the bank into the background. Yeah, Martel gets into the door of Bennett. Connor so you're trying to get up the inside. Tyres no, they've hooked up. The big tyres are coming into contact with each other. And they side wide. Massive jump there as well from Nicholas Grunholm.
A big jump by Grunholm, but he's got to think really smart here, as well as Larson. You know, Larson, he hasn't hit that Joker lap. He has, again, a lap and a half left Travis Pastrana keeps it clean, 2.5. Let's see if he can gain some ground. He needs more.
So Nicholas Gronholm's just done the fastest lap of the race. That's what the little stopwatch means on the left-hand side of your graphics there. You ride on board with the current Nitro Rallycross champion Pastrana as he comes to the merge, but Larson has easily got out in front of him. So Larson takes a super clean joker, holds on to the position, but the top three are separated by just 1.8 seconds. Pastrana's so high up there in Cheston's Drift, going to get a great exit. Watch for a big jump here. Pastrana coming up behind Larson. Super long on it, and Gronholm too in the background. Pastrana hits the barrier on the inside, Jared. That might be 3 seconds for him. It's an automatic penalty of 3, apparently, if you hit that.
That barrier has been taking multiple hits, and that's just, you know, you're trying to shave time. You're trying to cut those corners. Not cut them, but just get it tighter and tighter.
He might be giving up a place in the final here, Jared, with that contact on the last lap. If Pastrana gets a 3-second penalty, it will be Gronholm who goes home from P3, goes through to the final, having only driven the car for the first time yesterday. But Larson pops up over the line. He'll go to the front row. Pastrana goes over the line in row 2, but there's a question mark over him, and Gronholm gets P3.
Yeah, with Gronholm 1.4 seconds. We'll see if that was assessed. Again, hitting that barrier, hitting that block. 3-second penalty was assessed previously earlier with Andreas Bakkerud. So as we are wrapping, Robin Larson seems like the guy to beat. Just was out front from start to finish. He wins the bracket battles yesterday.
Yeah, great job by Robin Larson.
Coley, here are the results as we finish Group E, Heat 2. Robin Larson out front. Travis Pastrana still TBD, to be determined. He did hit the barrier. We'll see if a 3-second penalty is assessed. Nicholas Gronholm, really good race. Connor Martell and Ollie Bennett round out the top 5. Walk us through what happened here, what transpired, what standout moments.
So Martell got a better start than his teammate Pastrana and got right up the inside, but it was Larson who got that good start, and that was what I was saying a moment ago, Jared. Vaby in the previous race, Vaby and although they're in separate squads, you know, that the RX Cartel is a separate team to Vaby, who's here on like a guest appearance. They're all being run by JC and Dreyer and Reinbold Racing, the IndyCar team in conjunction with JC Race Technique, and 2 really good starts. Did they just get better grip off the start, or have they just found a nice little setting there? But great job by Larson. He's looking super dominant.
Yeah, he's a man of few words, but actions speak louder than words. So when you go talk to him in the pits, he's kind of, he's kind of formal. But overall, Robin Larson seems like the guy to beat.
There we go. Good stuff from the first 2 heat races for Group E. We've got our first 4 finalists through. They're going to be back out again for their semi-finals, 3-car semi-finals. Remember, only the winner from those races will go through. And we might well be seeing Travis Pastrana. Just depends on the block. He's completely destroyed the block, which is down in the middle of the course there. We are looking at Olofsson, who completely destroyed that car yesterday. Look at the tank tape on that rear wing, on Olofsson's wing there. Just out of shot now. You're looking at Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski at the back of the grid. But that car was absolutely destroyed. I saw Sandra Holgren this morning. She said, look at the back of the tailgate. It's got all the metal strips on it. Yeah. They're missing one part, Jared. They're missing an air intake part, which is not on the OMSC parts truck, simply because nobody ever needs it. But he smashed that car so badly that we need this bit. We haven't got it. And nobody's retired, so nobody can give them the part from another car. So that's the one.
Just open intake or what?
Yeah, well, they're going to try and make something, literally using a roll of plastic and some tape. So Sandra said the team was up until 11 last night, so it wasn't an all-nighter, but it's a lot of work. But look how good that looks compared to yesterday.
Really well done. Hats off to the OMSE team, as you said, and some really good racing, very competitive. Now, you got to think, this is a spec class, very similar to what we saw with the Group E vehicles. They're running the same tire, they're running the same chassis. Obviously, you modify it to your liking, suspension, seat position, all of those things, because obviously every driver is very different. But we saw some really dynamic, some wheel-to-wheel racing, very exciting. 30-second card is out. That means we are 30 seconds away from kicking off NRX next. Heat 1. Some notable names out here. Again, you talk about Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski on that back row, Ole Henrik Steinsol, Simon Olofsson up front, and Tommy Hallman sitting next to him.
So Hallman was the champion of Rally X last year. It's a Nordic Series. At the minute, Olofsson leads that series this season, but they both had a bit of a shocker yesterday. Howman's car looks to be in better nick, but Olofsson's going to get the start here. I think he's going to be able to shut the door on Tommy. Tommy's still got the nose just in front. He's 3/4 of the way up. Arlen Kotlinski comes in hot behind Ola Henry Steinsholt. Arlen Kotlinski now inside Steinsholt as Olofsson goes around the outside of Howman.
Olofsson basically said, hey, I've read this story. I've seen where this began yesterday. The very first race we had, it was Olofsson and George McGinnis that got into it. So a yellow car, like I said, very similar, but he says, all right, you guys go ahead and do what you got to do. Simon Olofsson with that clean air, battered and bruised, but still not keeping him down. Hallman sitting there in second, Steinsholt in third, and that of Arlen Kotlinski in fourth.
I'd love to see a result here for Olofsson. You know, Sandra Holgen and the team have stayed up super late last night just to get it fixed, Jared. You know, when everyone's been up late doing that, there is no better reward for the team than going out there and putting in a win. If they put in the hours, you want to get it done. Yesterday as well, they did keep sending the car out just to qualify for the next race. So when it came out and it was still limping in the next one, that was so he could then put it in the LCQ. So like, go out, bring it back to the paddock, we'll put some more tape and bungees on it, get out there and send it again. And to be honest with you, apart from the rear wing being fully taped up, he's looking pretty good. Howman, though, looking fiery behind him.
Also, you take a look at that, the fastest lap with Olofsson. Olofsson, our current leader, like I said, you talked about it yesterday. Look at this, going out the outside. Hallman trying to go for the pass, but no, Olofsson, boom, shuts the door right in his face.
Yeah, Olofsson was in the middle of the road, both on the brakes and then on the exit. They're coming down the hill now and into Paddock Bend, and Olofsson goes joker from the lead. So he's joker from the lead with Ola Henry Steinsholt behind. So Steinsholt's gone in. Howman was 0.5 back. He's now 0.1 back and takes the lead as they go joker. So Tommy Howman now has got to do a really good lap and try and come out in front of those guys when he takes his joker.
That was a smart move there by Olofsson, I think, to take that joker lap. Hallman, so 1.53 seconds. That's what we're looking at here. Yesterday for the next cars, it's about 1.6. So we are really going to be splitting hairs here. And Hallman going for his fastest lap. So with him out front, getting that clean air, boom, he hits his fastest lap. So Olofsson really needs to start chipping away at that gap, so when Hallman hits that joker lap, he gets the pass and pass him right before that checkered flag.
Olofsson's joker was good on the previous one. I wonder if Howman will hold on and go on the last lap. He's feeling confident, so that's a good sign. If a driver doesn't respond immediately, that means they feel they have the pace over the guy they're either chasing or being chased by. So he's not responding immediately, so Howman thinks he can edge it out. It was 1.9 the gap at the minute. Okay, so ignore that because Olofsson's shown at the back of the pack and he's not. So that means Olofsson transponder's just gone missing. So it might have fallen off the car, Jared, judging by what happened yesterday, but they'll start putting that in manually. Here he goes, he appears again. So the gap's still 1.7, so not going either way at the moment. This is a very tight fight between Howman and Olofsson.
All right, you can see 1.6. It looks like it does reset there. And look at Michaela with her fastest lap, 4.2 seconds behind.
So the gap's come down 1.6. It's only a tenth of a second, but watch for Howman. Here's going to go joker in the lead. So Howman dips up to the outside, going to go late on the brakes. Olofsson on the inside line. Howman's tighting through the joker. Olofsson's got a lot more speed as they come up to the line. Who's going to take it? Couldn't be closer, but it goes the way of Howman. I says, Howman on the screen, Howman by 0.2 seconds. Where's Olofsson's timing gone?
No, I
think Olofsson took
that.
No,
Olofsson got it. Olofsson got it, 100%.
Over the line,
I'm looking with my naked eye right here, and I saw Olofsson cross the finish line prior to Hallman. So
Olofsson some problems with the timing there. As if we're looking at the screen and Hallman comes up. So I don't think he was, but it shows it. Yeah, so Olofsson gets it and fastest lap on that last lap, Jared. He took that 10th out of him. Great job by the team to get that done. So well done to Get RX and mega.
And here it is, Simon Olofsson takes the win. Tommy Howman sitting in second. Ola Henry Steinsholt and Michaela Arlen Kotlinski rounds out the four. Format here, NRX Next, it's, we have our two-day event for the FC1Xs. We have bracket battles, and then we have our finals here today. But Next has two special rounds, Saturday and Sunday.
Nicely done for the first one of those. It's still running a little bit here. Katie is out and about. Katie, where are you? What you got for us?
Yes, standing by with Andreas Backerud, and of course, as he came in, your fist was pumping. What did you know at that point in time about that heat?
I mean, it was such a tight race all the way through with Chris there, and we were counting the times I get from Joel. I heard from the mechanics that I got a 3-second penalty and Andrew Coley spotted it. I mean, Andrew, we work together in Rallycross Nordic and Hollius. Please don't call me when I hit or nudge a barrier, will you?
As it relates to the fun out there, so you do have a 3-second penalty, as we've heard as well.
Where, Andrew?
I think Andrew Coley, you got some explaining to do to this guy. But as it relates to the car, how it's running out there, how confident are you feeling in the seat?
I feel pretty good. I mean, we had the speed out there. We catched back on Chris. I think Robin showed the speed in his car, winning his heat. And yeah, the team is feeling great. So I just need a little bit better launches because it looks like they get the run out of the box from me. So I need to be better prepared next time.
All right, hopefully we'll find that later on. Guys?
Sorry, Andreas. I mean, it wasn't
apologize.
actually,
It's your job.
my fault. Yeah,
How about don't hit the block? You know, why is he pointing fingers at you?
I
Look
love
at
it, though.
who has
It's
two
great,
thumbs and just hit the block. That
it's
guy.
Great. My favourite is when you get a WhatsApp message saying, I didn't do that. I didn't hit him in turn one. Here's my onboard, but not from Andreas, just generally, you know.
Here we are, NRX next, Heat 2. George McGinnis, one to watch on that front row. Casper Janssen, who got the victory yesterday. Lane Vakela and Kyle Schwartz. Those are your 4 racers. You see 3 Americans and 1 Swede walking into NRX next, Heat 2. 30-second card is out. We're up there in that silver box, overlooking this beautiful sight. Little spitty rain, no big deal for these race cars, and no big deal for these hardcore rallycross fans. Again, 4 different classes through the entirety of the day. Of course, Group E being the premier. You got supercars, you got next, and of course you got the cross cars. Those things are rocket ships. Speaking of rocket ships, let's get ready to send it. Nitro is lighting up. Spell it out, Nitro. Send it. Here we go. Heat 2, NRX next.
Great start. Casper Janssen moves across on McGinnis, but McGinnis is still inside. He can't shut the door yet. Now McGinnis gets into turn 1 nicely. In behind him goes Lane Vakela. Vakela was going well towards the end of yesterday. Looking a bit tricky out there, Jared. A little bit more slippery in turn 1. We know they put down a fair bit of water. McGinnis has a sideways moment. Janssen might gain on him a little bit over the jump, but tidier by McGinnis. He was so fast yesterday, but he did have quite a few little moments.
All right, McGinnis out. No, yeah, that should be McGinnis. Yeah, McGinnis out front. Janssen in second. See Schwartz and Vakela rounding out 3 and 4. So McGinnis up top of the hill. Grabbing some traction, utilizing those Yokohama tires.
So George has got mum and dad and grandparents here this weekend as well. I met the grandparents.
He's got the dog, the cat, the hamster.
Yeah.
They're all out. They're all enjoying McGinnis.
They're up in VIP, and it just must be really nice for him. Obviously, his dad comes from here over in the UK, and this is the first time that George has raced here in the UK. So, yeah, getting your grandparents to come watch. He's running the Union Jack on the side of the car. I think it's pretty cool for him.
Yeah,
he's such an enthusiastic kid. Yeah, yesterday, I know he got a few penalties and a little bit of a telling off, but I love how hard he attacked, Jared. He's ready to go. His brother, Robert McGinnis, I gather was also quite a hard charger in Road to Indy when he was at that stage in his career. So he's gone the single-seater route. George has gone the rallycross route. So it's good to see the 2 of them being successful.
All right, McGinnis, look at throwing it sideways. Getting it a little loose. Is that the fastest line? It seems to be so far right now.
He's
halfway through.
It looks pointy, that car.
Yeah.
He's got a lot. It looks, again, you see he's into it and gets on the throttle, leans on the back. I'm liking the way that car looks to me. It looks really responsive. Janssen in the background still going well. Kyle Schwartz has gone joker and he's 4.2, so he's only 1.9 off the back of Vakela. Schwartz will want to close that gap down a little bit. Look at McGinnis' line and Janssen's line as they come through the sweeper.
Yeah, the gravel machine gun is on when you hit that Talladega turn. And admittedly, you know, Coley, we're up here in the booth, but when you walk through that section that, you know, right opposing to the Joker portion, that's really bumpy. So these cars are really absorbing a lot of impact, and they're still powering through. So really cool. Explain what the chassis is, how much horsepower, what are they operating?
This is a single-make chassis, as you said earlier, Jared, like a spec series, so they can change the settings, but they can't change any of the parts. Again, it's going to go standard lap. Casper Janssen goes joker. It's a 2.4-litre normally aspirated Cosworth, close to about 300 horsepower. It's about 3/4 the size of a supercar, so they're actually slightly smaller than a real car, if you like. It's like a scale car. But it's such a great place to learn. You know, the likes of Kevin Hansen, Kevin Eriksson, Ollie Eriksson, they've all won series in this car.
Connor
Martell, Fraser McConnell.
Yep.
Yeah, you look at the results those people are getting, and you can see where they jump in those. Jared, I was actually lucky enough to wheel one of these around Hollius just a few weeks ago, one of the best rallycross tracks in the world, and it was amazing. It's
awesome.
Just such a great car.
Cool.
It just encourages you to push. It actually encouraged me to push a little bit too much, but I'll show you that on YouTube later. Yeah.
All right, so McGinnis leads the pack, and he is a dominant performance here. Going for that joker lap, 3.2 seconds. I don't think Janssen is going to be able to catch him. Nope, no way, no how. All right, and there's the checkered flag. McGuinness gets the win. Janssen in second. Vakela and Schwartz rounding out 3 and 4. NRX next heat 2 is a wrap.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
For generations, farmers have grown the humble, nutritious cassava. Harvested, ground, and then baked to perfection. Cassava transforms into our iconic bami. Now, imagine this uniquely Jamaican product being enjoyed at dinner tables across the world. A taste of Jamaica in every bite. Rainforest Bami, from our farm to your table.
Proven Wealth Limited. We are experts in investments, stock brokerage, financial advisory, corporate finance, cambio and foreign exchange, asset management, unit trust management, pension fund management. Let us manage your wealth to suit your lifestyle. Contact us today at 876-908-3800 or visit our website at provenwealth.com.
Race pretty easy. It's the gravel corner that's the struggle, where the action could happen, and Travis loved to dive bomb, I suppose, so that could happen. But yeah, it was a nice clean run, and really nice to get another win and have the pole for the final.
Congratulations on that. Maybe more clean runs to come.
Thank you so much, Katie, and of course, thank you, Robin Larson. There you have it, talking about pole. Look at that, Meek and Larson on the front row, Backerud and TP in row 2.
Well, funny enough, Backerud and TP on row 2. Backerud got a penalty for hitting that marker, and I don't think Travis did. So Travis might have got away with it. Backerud was going, where did I hit it? We were going, we think Travis definitely hit it, but whatever happens, that's the decision of the stewards. Chris Meek's where he needed to be, up on row 1, but Larson's a hard taskmaster into turn 1.
And here we are, we're moving on to supercar action. Let's take a look at the heat. Who do we have in the mix?
So on the front row, you've got Yuri Belevsky, who won the battle bracket yesterday, if you remember, against Fraser McConnell, who's in P2. Row 2, Patrick O'Donovan and Tristan Ovenden. And row 3 is Dominic Flitney. So 3 British Rallycross regulars at the back of the pack, and our 2 internationals at the front. I know McConnell was disappointed to lose out to Belevsky yesterday. Feels he can get the job done. He feels he's got better pace. So, yeah, they've got a couple of races to settle before we get through to the final.
There we can see our Supercar Heat 1 graphic. You see, look at the variety of nationalities coming in here. Again, notably Fraser McConnell doing double duty, both in, you can see, you know, Fraser, both Supercar as well as Group E. 30-second card is out, Coley, and again, we have 1 heat for supercars. You can see the variety of manufacturers, vehicles, and like I said, nationalities.
Belevsky's car, look at the angle of it. So Belevsky's got his car angled just slightly to the left towards Fraser McConnell. So Yuri Belevsky wants to claim a bit of ground on the run into the first corner. Let's see whether or not he can. Revs come up, they're going to get the green. Who's going to get a good start? It's a great start by McConnell on the outside line. Shuts the door on Belevsky immediately. Had that Audi pointed out towards him, but can't quite get in there. Patrick O'Donovan into P3. It's Ovenden and Dominic Flitney at the back, side by side. Fraser McConnell holds on, just going to get to that apex. It's slippery out there. They haven't been out on this track for a while, Jared. Feeling the grip levels. McConnell flies the A-shot tabletop with Belevsky in behind.
You got to think that Fraser McConnell earlier in Group E, you know, he went off course, but he's now getting used to it. He's getting more track time, more seat time than anybody else here this weekend, doing double duty in Supercar and Group E. Belevsky sitting in second. Like I said, literally you're seeing a Hyundai, a Volvo, Citroen, Ford, and Audi. 5 different manufacturers, 4 different nationalities. I love this. I mean, Supercar, again, that was the premier series last year, but it's all about Group E. 1,000 horsepower, more flying, more nitro.
It's interesting, isn't it, to see the difference. There's a lot of diversity in manufacturing. manufacturers, and I think there will be interest from the manufacturers in Group E, but at the minute it's a spec class, and that means we're seeing everybody in the same kit. And for someone like Larson, that's going to be a huge boost for his confidence. Yeah, he's had a couple of years where he hasn't had the results go quite his way. Suddenly he's in a car that the same as everybody else's, and he's right up there. But this is all about Bolevsky and McConnell out front. Flitney went Joker on the first lap. At the moment, the gap is 0.5 of a second, so McConnell's not edging Bolevsky by much. Bolevsky won't want to go early, because if he goes early, Jared comes out in traffic behind St. Patrick. O'Donovan Patrick's one of the front runners in the British Championship, but with no disrespect to him, he does go. So you will want to come out in front of Patrick now, because Patrick's in an older spec car. Bolevsky's easily going to get out in front. Look at the gap behind.
Bolevsky, the way he swung and came out of that Joker was absolutely really well done.
Yeah, he's absolutely lit in there, fully committed. He's been an Audi specialist, Super 1600, then into Supercar with this same squad. Rolf Volland is running the car, and now McConnell's got to nail an absolutely brilliant lap. The gap was 1.9. Keep an eye on that. We'll see whether or not Fraz responds or stays out until that last lap. Wipers going on Fraz's car. It still doesn't look that damp to us. There's not so much rain in the air.
Might be dust. Might be. I mean, again, when you go in the cockpit, the gravel that gets thrown at you, it looks like asteroids. It looks like you're in Star Wars, man. So this is the way, and maybe potentially keep them on.
Well, he's a bit sideways down the bottom of the hill, and the gap's come down to 1.4, so McConnell backs into Paddock Bend. Bolevsky's closing that gap down. Maybe should have responded and gone on that. Now the gap's 1.0. So Bolevsky's eating McConnell alive here. I don't know if Fraz has maybe got a little issue, if it's just that one mistake. It just goes to shave one little mistake, Jared, and the time's gone. You've got to absolutely know it. So Fraser will be annoyed about that. It's not over yet, but it's now 0.8, so another 2/10 away. Bolevsky, this is a big attack.
I'll tell you what, I think Fraser is actually faster on the straights, but Bolevsky gets him in the corners because the way that Audi actually navigates through. So watch this. I think Bolevsky's going to get him because Fraz has to take that Joker lap. Let's see if Bolevsky, who just took his fastest lap there, look at that slip, 0.7 seconds. It's going down. He is chipping away at that lead. Here we go, Fraz.
McConnell locks a wheel on the way. Charity half spins. McConnell,
mate.
That's a Ken Block move in there. He's got to spin it round or he's going to lose position. He's stalled a Hyundai now. He's stuck in the Joker lap. Patrick O'Donovan goes through to take P2. P3 goes the way of Tristan Ovenden. Fraser McConnell came in so committed. We saw just off camera a trail of smoke as he locked one wheel on the way in, and literally Ken Block couldn't have turned the Hoonicorn around in that gap there. Fraser's done it, but unfortunately it's not what he wanted to do.
Real bummer there. The checkered flag waves, and that should have been Fraser McConnell, but just one turn away. Bolevsky would have had him regardless of the attitude of the vehicle coming in. So we'll have to take a look at that again. Such a bummer for Fraser.
So watch this, he comes in. That's what I was saying about yesterday. As you come over the crest, but also, Jared, there's a fair bit of gravel on that corner as well. And he comes up over the crest. So it's uphill in the braking zone just as you get into it. So watch here, he's locked the rear wheel that you can see. And just where he is now, the road goes flat. Oof. So you look how close he was, proximity. Yeah. So it's like superb
it's not Jim
control
Connor,
to not
man.
end up
This
in
ain't
the
Jim
wall.
Connor.
But over the crest, didn't work out. Here's the result down on that one. Yuri Bolevsky takes the win, 3:03.7, after taking the fastest lap of the race and closing that gap down on Fraser McConnell, who with a spin in the Joker drops to P5. So it's O'Donovan, Ovenden and Flitney P2, 3 and 4.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future. And by Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. An exciting day here at this famous track, Lydden Hill. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and you're a dog father, so happy dog dad to you, Coley.
Yeah, Yogi's not here today, but lots of people ask me where's the dog.
I know they're like, cool. Coley, where's your dog? You know, your wife's here, but you know, I want to see the dog. But again, cross car is really exciting here. Let's throw it down to Katie Osborne, who's going to be on the pole, Chris Meek.
Yeah, standing by with Chris Meek as Oliver Bennett there. You can see he finished 5th in that race. He got bumped out, but his teammate, Chris Meek, stellar performance out in that heat. A bit of a runaround in surprise with the incident with Andreas Backerud and you bumping up. How good is and confidence boosting is that?
Yeah, I think that's my initiation to rallycross. I went through all day yesterday and I never had contact with a car, so That was cool. I enjoyed it. We have to understand a little bit what went wrong mid-race because I had a bit of a gap, and when Andreas went for his joker, he was able to undercut me. So, yeah, it was close going into T1 on the final lap. With a bit more experience, I might have played a different card there on where I was on the outside. But yeah, he ran me wide, which he's entitled to do. But yeah, unfortunately for Andreas, lucky for me, he touched one of the white barriers earlier in the race and got a 3-second penalty. So yeah, look, we won the race, which is cool, but we need to understand what went wrong. You know, on track position, we didn't win the race, so he with Andreas's penalty.
Hopefully you guys find that out here before the next one. And of course, what's interesting is everybody, like Travis Pastrana, Connor Martell, are both saying this is the guy to beat today.
Some great insight, and even from the other races, they're saying Meek, man, and Larson.
He's a 5-time winner in the World Rally Championship. You know, he's an absolute weapon. So, yeah, Chris Meek, he's on the front rows where he needed to be. We've been saying this all along. His spotter's been saying the same thing. But we're moving on to cross car now. Tell you a bit more about those in a minute. You've got Jimmy Osterberg and Pasi Penttinen on row 1. Row 2 is Isaac Eganson and Sebastian Enholm. And row 3 is Kalle Gotherson.
What vehicles are we looking at? What kind of chassis? What are these builds? They're rocket ships. Let's just call it that. But what are we looking at?
They are. So these are all speed car wonders, the chassis that are entered here. There are other manufacturers about. There's Edge, Crosscar, and all sorts of different manufacturers. But these are all, I'd say, the latest version from speed car. They'll be running different engines, you know, GSXR, bike engines. They're super lightweight. We'll get some specs up for you in a minute, but let's get this one on the road, shall we? Down to the first corner. Spectacular action from them yesterday. Osterberg versus Pasi Penttinen on the front row. Isaac Eganson was creeping in the background just a little bit there in the 67. See whether or not he gets away nicely. Great start across the entire grid. Inside line, Osterberg's going to hold the run down to turn 1, or clipped on the inside. And as I say that, Pasi Penttinen goes past, so does Sebastian Enholm on the outside. Super high RPM. Look, Osterberg trying to go inside. Enholm can't quite get there, so it's Pasi Penttinen that leads as they head up to the tabletop.
Man, I'll tell you what. Oh! Penttinen airs it out. The attitude of the vehicle, he saved it. Penttinen,
how did he hold on to that?
I mean, it is Nitro, so he tried to throw it out there. The kid is just going for it, man. Absolutely. Or excuse me, that's not the kid, but the kid's teammate. The kid's teammate. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was awesome. I saw the Hot Wheels that got thrown off there. Speaking of Hot Wheels,
see, look at that, pouring a wheel in the air. This is where these cars, they're so soft, Jared. You see every input the driver puts in. We certainly saw every input. Penttinen held on to that. He was in for a wild ride.
I was going to say, as soon as he did that, and both pressed us, I was going to say the MVP is the MVS, most valuable suspension.
Yeah.
I mean, you see all the arms working, the shocks and everything, just the attitude of the vehicle. This thing absorbs a lot of jumps, and with it getting kicked sideways, that was a really great save. Definitely could have looped it there. Maybe, there we go, a little calmer there on that kick.
Yeah, that's what you want. Nice straight landing. Don't get yourself too crossed up. So basically, they're all running a 750cc Suzuki GSXR, except for Ronald Bowdens, who's running an 850 from a different manufacturer. So, but Bowdens yesterday looking on the pace for the first time. Bowdens had a big crash, if you remember. He actually sent me a picture this morning of his hand swollen up. It's huge, Garrett. How he can get it in a race, I don't know. He told me last night, but I saw him, he had his arm in a sling. I was like, you going to race? He's like, yeah, of course. In the morning, I'm like, dude, like, really? But these things are 150 horsepower, 430 kilos with the driver, so they weigh less than half a ton and 150 horsepower. So power to weight ratio is similar to, say, a supercar without the driver sitting in it. So they are very quick.
And nimble. You can see how flying and, you know, just the attitude of it when it came down. Penttinen, that was insane. And look at it. Enholm, so look at our leaders with a 3.7 second lead, or 3 second lead given Enholm's position in second. You can see that gap being created here, lap 3 and 4.
Penttinen was pretty defensive there, considering Enholm was a little way back. You can go on a late dive on these things. Watch at the bottom of the hill here. You see the noses of the buggies dive as they jump on the brakes. Penttinen goes Joker this lap, so going Joker a lap early. This is going to give Enholm 1 clear lap. Penttinen's Joker is good in the background, lays down a stripe of rubber as he exits. Osterberg comes through in P3. So Enholm has 1 lap now to hold on. The gap's 1.7.
That's really interesting, because I thought Penttinen would actually take the standard lap. Enholm in the second position would take the Joker, but quite the contrary. They did the reverse. So I think Penttinen might catch him 1.9 seconds.
You can dummy them from behind. So that's the thing here, because you have to brake so late to go into the Joker. If you are the leader, you can dummy the guy behind. If he commits to the Joker with you, he's gone. He's lost his chance. So actually, it's a pretty clever tactic to Joker from the lead with a lap to go. But yeah, let's see if it pays off this time. Enholm coming down for the Joker. Watch this. It'll be super late on the brakes. Got to pitch it in over the crest. Going to back it into the outside. You saw the left foot braking. The brake lights came on. Going to go sideways. Penton on the inside line. Enholm crossed the line, though, to take the win from Penton. So the tactics didn't pay off. Enholm was on a flyer there, wasn't he, Jared?
Yeah. Enholm once got that clean air, got around Penton. Penton took that Joker lap, and Enholm said, peace, see you later, and continued on through the success. You can see over a second. So really well done by Enholm. But I think the big one was Penton and that jump out of the gate, saving that. It could have been over there, almost spun under his own accord. But Enholm got to be pumped there as the hatch opens up. Just such really cool cars to see. Awesome. In contrary to, here we have, Group E, but this is how it ended up in our in our semi as Sebastian Enholm, Penton, Osterberg, Isaac Eganson, and Kaylee Gothison. So really well done by all our racers. And we are getting ready for our next semifinal. Semifinal Heat 2.
Street Bike Tommy. We haven't seen Street Bike Tommy all morning. I mean, he must have a packed itinerary, I would have thought. I mean, Street Bike Tommy, Street Bicycle Tommy, as we call here in the UK?
Penny Farthing Thomas.
Where are you?
French fries, haircuts, what do you got going on?
Oh, God. Oh, Misha. Come on. Is it almost done? You just start. I'm just kidding. What's up, everybody, down here at the RX Cartel tent. There's much more to do here at the racing scene than just the racing in the cars. Apparently, you can get a tattoo. Jared Deanda is the one who picked this tattoo. I have no idea what it is or what it means, but apparently we're going to be twinsies. So, Jared, you better come through on this tattoo, man. Apparently, he's getting the same one, but he said he's busy. I don't know how much I trust that. But, Misha, how long have you been doing this?
It's been about 8 years now.
Oh, so you're actually like a good tattoo artist.
You'd hope so.
This wasn't...
If I'm not, I'm so sorry.
All right, so I think the gag on me is not that it's a bad tattoo artist, but I think the gag is that he might not get this. I don't even know what it is. Are you familiar with this tattoo?
I think it's a really early stamp from England, so it's like one of the rarest ones.
Okay, so I'm getting a UK stamp from the UK.
Yo, dude, can I tattoo you?
No.
You sure?
You can.
But for right now, get in there.
Get in here.
Whatever. So we're doing this right now.
Can I see you first?
Yeah.
Sit on your.
Yeah. We're gonna. This is actually happening.
So what we're gonna do?
Yeah. Two-handed, bro.
Like this. Boom. Real gentle.
All right. Get in there.
Oh, he's good.
He's actually tattooing me.
Change the profession.
Yeah. Squiggly lines are my favorite.
Good.
Yeah, it's solid. Well, I mean, I feel like he's a pro, so he's going to have a very steady hand.
Do you want a job? Do you want an apprenticeship, maybe?
Yeah.
Touch elbows.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys.
There we go.
Jared, back to you.
Oh, my gosh. I love it, dude. And so, so basically the history there is obviously I say send it. So lick the stamp and send it. And it's from the 1840s, the penny black.
Yeah,
and
it's
it was the first ever postage stamp. And they were cut out and all that. So I'm honored. So I'm getting mine later. I didn't know Tommy was going to go through with it.
We're in a WhatsApp group.
I'm obviously going to go through it.
We're in a
I love
WhatsApp
it.
group, and this morning I get a WhatsApp, no explanation whatsoever, just like a load of the penny black stamp. And what the hell are they? What are the Americans talking about? And the WhatsApp, no explanation. Now I understand.
Yep. We're going to do it. So, they get a Mike Adori and RX Cartel. They're giving haircuts and tattoos. So, let's go down to the heat as Tommy's got some heat on that inner thigh now. And so honored that Street Bike Tommy and Penny Farthing Tommy, Cobblestone, Penny Farthing, Tomas are going to have the same tattoo. Alexander Gustav Sanfrida Enholm. Ronald Baldens, you're talking about him and his swollen hand. Can he drive? Thomas Eek Merstead and Rico Huka as the kid bringing up the rear in that Hot Wheels liveried cross car. Here we go with the second heat semifinals. Absolutely stoked to see this go down.
Watch out for Hooker at the back yesterday. The drivers have been saying the tarmac here, the pavement here is so grippy that they've been getting wheelies off the line. Hooker got one yesterday, but I think it might be a little bit too damp today to have that kind of traction. Front row though, Alex Gustafsson Jr. cross car champion from a couple of years ago versus Frida Enholm, one of our female racers. Up comes those 5 letters, Nitro. Wait for the sending light to appear. There it is. Brilliant start on the front row for Gustafsson, but better start for Frida Enholm. She shuts the door. Ink Merstad trying to come around the outside. Ronald Bowden's on the inside line. He won't want any contact. His hand is like a balloon. Up the inside goes Ink Merstad. That runs Gustafsson out wide. And it's Frida Enholm, who leads from Thomas Ekmerstad over the tabletop. Great start by her.
Really well done there out front. Enholm, Ekmerstad, Gustafsson, Baldens. Like you said, like you called it, man, arm in a sling, swollen hand. Hats off to him.
He was upside down, Jared, on the very bit of track he's just driven over yesterday. The fire engines were in attendance. There was smoke from the car. We didn't know he was injured. And I saw him in the paddock. I was like, mate, you're out. And his hand is massive. He sent me a picture, a comparison of the two hands. I really am surprised he's out there. So kudos to him for getting out there and going for it. Into the joker lap goes Gustafsson and also Hukar. That leaves Baldens out in P3.
All right, Enholm out front, only 0.4 second lead over Ekmerstad. Almost identical matching vehicles here, but obviously the positions are not. Enholm out front. Ekmerstad is right there, just seething. You can see the drool coming off the front tires.
This is a brilliant job by Frida Enholm. Flames from the exhaust as she lifts off the gas into Devil's Elbow up the hill now. Ekmerstad is, I say, a front runner in this year's Rally X Series. And Frida Enholm backing it in up at the top. No, oh, she's missed a gear.
Oh,
she's
no.
missed a gear, gets collected. You heard the car on the rev limiter. She still holds on. Baldens now onto the back of these guys as well. So that's going to help out the three that are in behind. You can hear she got a false neutral. She goes joker straight away. That releases Ekmerstad. She's going to try and come out in front of Alex Gustafsson, but I think that mistake's going to cost her dear.
Oh,
From P1 down, she might just hold on at the merge.
Oh, almost some contact there. Almost saw contact between Gustafsson and Huka. Still back there. Huka was so fast yesterday. Don't know what happened from yesterday to today. I mean, popping wheelies in the finals off that start.
Yeah, unbelievable. These things are so light, Jared. They just sit down. If you get the grip, they can lift the front wheels up. It's pretty rare. Then you have to decide how long you stay in the gas for. You know, you're not going to flip it out like you would, you know, like on a crosser, for instance. But yeah, still a wheelie off the line. Shows you've got good traction at least. So we're coming down then. Ekmerstad and Baldens must joker this time round. The gap back to Alex Gustafsson. He's only 1.4 from Baldens. It'll be a little bit more. So it goes Baldens now. Gustafsson stayed out.
And takes that second position. So it looks like Gustafsson jumps in a second. And now Enholm and Baldens are going for that third spot. We got contact.
So Baldens doesn't need that, does he? Ekmerstad now is 2.4. Everyone else, Baldens trying to find a way around Frida Enholm over the jump. Watch in the background. Here they come. Oh.
As Huka passes Baldens there in the chase position. So you can see it looks like the suspension has been compromised. You can see, looks like it was dipping down a little bit. Out front, still Ekmerstad, not even part of the equation. 2.7 seconds. Do the math. He's off and running. So Gustafsson, Enholm had it, but that contact and missing that gear, that might have been an issue that obviously caused the delay there.
Super unlucky. It's a shame, Jared. It was a great job by her. He's sideways. Watch for Gustafsson on the standard lap. Might have enough to take it and does. So Gustafsson nicks it at the end. Not the perfect joke from Ekmerstad. He had 2.4 seconds, Jared, and he's ended up losing by 0.8. So took him 3.2. There is a bit of gravel up there. Maybe we're underestimating how slippery it is in the joker lap. But Alex Gustafsson coming from further back in the pack to take the win here. That was a good one. That was really exciting. And just love all the kind of, you know, checkers and chess. Some people are playing chess, some people are playing checkers. Really well done by all the racers. And just, it shows you how exciting and competitive it is. Alexander Gustafsson gets the win. Thomas Ekmerstad in second. Frida Enholm, Rigo Huka, and then Ronald Baldens in that final position. All right, so there is Crosscar Semifinal 2. And there is the outcome, as we're going to be seeing some more action here in just a moment. And our semifinal, Group E, will be coming up soon. Man, yeah, that's what I was taking a breath.
I need an A-Shock energy, man. Let's you know, get it going. I mean, again, I get really excited here. Excited to be here as a hashtag Go Nitro. Join the conversation. Let us know you're watching. Let everybody know that history is being made here at Lydden Hill.
Are you looking?
All right, well, as we can see, the cross cars are exiting out of the track, and a little bit of track maintenance here, Coley, and like I said, that was the best. We're going to see the track. How do you think?
Oh, hang on, Jared. There's a pass on the jump. The tractor goes up past the little digger thing. Amazing work. That was amazing.
Man.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was incredible. The water truck fueling it
what
down.
What a pass.
It was unreal.
Inside,
that front loader.
He got a better exit from the kink just before the jump, Jared. The dude in the digger, I think, dragging the digger across the floor there. Look, it's just slowing him down. You see the front wing. It's digging into the road.
I don't know if that's the fastest way to go around the track. Maybe lift that front scoop, put it towards the back, create that arrow, get that downforce there. Overall, just, again, getting prepared for some more Group E action. Overall, I can't believe Tommy got a tattoo. Katie's got some really great scoops down there. But look, this is where the road to the final has led us. Meek and Larson on the front, TP, Travis Pastrana, and Backerud sitting there in row 2.
So Pastrana, we thought that Pastrana might have got a penalty for hitting the marker, but we've actually had a piece of paper handed to us here in commentary saying that Niklas Gronholm is the person who's got the penalty. So from the angle we saw it at, we thought it was Pastrana, but the stewards think it was Niklas Gronholm. Fair enough, we see it once in the heat at the moment, we give it our best shot. So Pastrana and Backerud on that row 2, Meek and Larson on row 1. Can't wait to see how that one goes down. 4 more to join them in the final.
Are you looking to overstimulate your senses? Boy, do I have the place for you. I'm located right now in My Energy Green Village. They have the world's first solar EV charging station. Oh, hey there, Zappy. Look how convenient you are. This is the unit right here to charge your EV. It's very impressive. You can get it anywhere. It's convenient. It's better than gas because it's cheap. And they have set up a lovely family zone. There's tons of stuff to do in between racing. You can come here and entertain the family with putt-putt. We got RC racing, a place to hang out. I'm gonna do all of the things. Let's go do it. Wind turbine, cooler than petroleum. Nothing recharges quite like green energy. And by green energy, I mean putting green. If you can't race on the track, you can come down here to the Green Village and race together. I'm getting ready to crush these children. I'm not afraid to beat children.
Steve's better than you.
That's not true. Come over, Steve.
Very true.
We're just having that family fun out here. Oh, come on, get out of here! Get out of here!
I win!
That's not true! Oh man, am I feeling recharged. Thank you, Green Village. It's about time I head back onto the track. See you there.
I'll tell you what, I don't know who's having the most fun, either the racers or Katie or Street Bike Tommy, but overall, I think the fans are having the most fun. And I don't know, just who do you think? Who do you think is having the most fun?
I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. Yeah. I think I'm having the most fun.
Okay, well,
actually, that's a lie. This is really stressful.
No.
I'm having a lot more fun about 3:30 this afternoon if everything goes according to plan. But we hope you guys are enjoying it. We really do. So, and we've got some amazing stuff out there with Group E's and Group B cars. So we're sitting both on track today. Take a look at this. The new all-electric FC1X Rallycross car may just be the most innovative piece of motorsport machinery ever built. It screams futuristic, but the inspiration for this beast is set firmly in the past. 40 years, in fact. The early 1980s saw the jaw-dropping Group B cars set the rally world alight. With very few restrictions, manufacturers had free rein to produce the most technically advanced and powerful machines ever seen. A sight to behold back in the day, the flame-spitting monsters continue to enjoy an almost mythical reputation still. Nitro RX's new Group E class, using that ethos, has taken the biggest quantum leap since those heady days. Finally, the huge performance potential of EVs has been unleashed. A clear case of Back to the Future.
Group B in rallying is just iconic. It was one of the most special times and dangerous times in rally.
I think that time the guys were having big balls and a small brain, then they could go fast, you know.
It was way too much horsepower for what the car and track and tires and anything could handle. So it was complete nuts.
Beautiful cars, you know, I love the big wheel arches and the giant rear wings. Growing up, that was like my dream car. But they looked a real handful.
I would say the power was perfect, but you know the technology wasn't really there in terms of suspension and dampers and stuff. So they had a lot of accidents.
Rallying was way too dangerous in a Group B car, so they became illegal in rallying, and they all became rallycross cars, and they added even more power.
They had too much downforce, too much speed, too much horsepower, but they were spectacular. And I think that's born into now what we see is the pinnacle of the future, which is electric motorsport. And you've got the Group E, which really takes that whole ethos of something completely ridiculous and put it on a track.
I think in terms of the way it looks, it's very Group B, but with a lot more technology. Obviously, it's a space frame chassis, which means you can basically do what you want with it. You're not limited on certain parts of the car for regulations.
The cool thing now is that we will have something that is, maybe it doesn't make the same sound, but it's going to be even quicker and more brutal.
This new Group E era will be even more spectacular, in my opinion. You know, the technology that comes into it now. We can fly longer than any car has flown. We can hit tracks that no car should ever be on, you know. That's what gets me pumped, you know.
For me, the FC1X is the Group B of Rallycross. No one's ever seen a car this fast, have this much suspension, and it's just above and beyond any other car that's ever done Rallycross. So I think that's how they kind of connect.
It's like nothing the rally world has ever seen before.
It's a clean sheet of paper. I think that they've done a fantastic job.
The answer to Andrew Coley and Jared Deenda talking about having fun is really these guys and their team. This car is extremely clean after that heat, moving into the semifinals. What's on your mind? What have you learned thus far?
Yeah, I mean, that was like our first proper battle with at least 5 cars on track. So it was really interesting to be able to get and do some contact. The cars are amazing. It held up very well. We had 2 pretty big hits during that heat. We got 4th. Unfortunately, our start was incredible. I actually thought we were going to come out second, but Ollie had a great move underneath me, and we ran a really solid race. We were second fastest with a clean track, so I'm going to go out in the semis and just try and do my job.
All right, well, it's going to be some good battling. Of course, one of those guys that you might be battling is your teammate, Travis Pastrana.
Well, speaking of Travis, he's here in the building, and you got to be feeling good. You're in the finals, and your teammate's looking good. How is the track holding up?
The track's absolutely amazing. I mean, we're here in Lydden Hill. This is just, it's so iconic, birthplace of Rallycross. And to come out, I mean, definitely, I feel like the Americans who had a pretty good advantage last year are at a little bit of a disadvantage this year. But no, definitely, and with a little bit of rain maybe coming in later, that whole Talladega banked first turn, that's really my only kind of saving grace to keep up with the rest of the guys on the pavement. But I tell you, this car is just so amazing. It's fun.
You always say that you're no good on the pavement, but you won in Florida on the pavement.
Right?
You know, you're good at it, dude. We could do some more tarmac rallies in the States. That's one thing I will say. Like, you guys only do loose. I'd love to see a few proper tarmac rallies.
We want to see all pavement rallies. We're having snow rallies, all dirt rallies, and rallycross is like, this is supposed to test every driver.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, this is a fairly simple track, but it's a first time with this car. It is in Lydden Hill. This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Now, go on. I must be honest, Travis. We were calling you out, and they go, Travis hit a barrier. Travis definitely smashed a barrier up. And then we got a note here going, no, Nick Casgrande it. So apologies.
For the first time in my life, I didn't hit anything.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
We were wrong.
I don't think I touched anything on that one.
Well, I don't know if you know, Andreas Backrud called out Coley. He says, why are you ratting me out, man? I thought we were homies.
It's the stewards.
Exactly.
Here
Well,
we
Travis,
go,
we are
though.
moving on to NRX next. Simon Olsen, Casper Janssen, Ole Henry Steinsholt, and Kyle Schwartz are here in this semi-final. Now we're really starting to forge a final here. Again, 2 independent rounds, Saturday and then Sunday for our NRX next.
Simon had just the biggest crash yesterday, and he came back and did great. Even made it through into the main event. This is it's awesome to see these guys come out there.
So Olofsson, with all those repairs last night, we said it earlier, but if you missed it, they stayed up till 11 p.m. the team to fix it. It's still featuring quite a lot of tank tape, to be fair. Casper Janssen, the NRX next champion, on the front row with him. Ole Henry Steinsholt and then Kyle Schwartz on the back row. They get the 10-second board. And we'll get these little pocket rockets launched off the line. These are hard to launch. They have to go maximum RPM, then dump the clutch, maybe kick the clutch if you lose the RPM off the line. Great start on the outside row for Janssen, but can't move in onto the inside line for Olofsson. Olofsson's got him, and actually I think Janssen's going to get squeezed out by Ole Henry Steinsholt. He does. Runs
really,
out
really
wide.
Slick. So slick into that first turn, and it's got a lot of cushion up top. You can kind of use the NASCAR background, which these guys don't really have, but coming at the jump right here, single files down, really, really slick. Oh, coming in hot onto the inside. Not quite enough.
All over the grass and everything on the inside. You missed the crosscar a minute ago. We saw the save of the day from Passy Penton, like 100 steering inputs just to hang on to it. Up at the top of the hill, now things are getting a bit tidier. So Olofsson looking to try and gap these guys behind. 0.2 of a second over Steinsholt. reasonable start, Jared. Not too messy.
That was great. I think that was good. Travis, you touched on that Talladega turn, and that's what you did. You used that curtain up there and then dropped in on your heat.
Oh,
that
get
was
that
insane.
thing up in the cushion. I came into the corner fourth. I was like, I need to be at least third, hopefully second coming out of here. But you can see most of the guys, especially the Europeans, they're right down on that bottom line. It's going to push the cushion lower and lower, so it's going to be harder and harder to use as it gets going. It's good to be wide coming into this section right here. You got the two little singles, and then all of the mud is going right on to the Lydden Hill pavement, which is making it extremely hard to get slowed down into this really narrow hill. And that turn is everything. Getting up that hill, it doesn't look like much on TV, but here it is a huge hill.
Yeah. It's super steep. If you don't carry the exit speed, you get killed up it. Basically, don't you? Everyone will just eat you alive with the braking zone at the top. So yeah, exit from Devil's Elbow, which is the left-hander, absolutely critical.
Yeah, and then coming down here, if you're ahead, you actually slow them down going into the Joker. So it's almost better if you're ahead to not Joker until the last lap, but then that kind of leaves it into the last second to really figure out where you sit.
I love this insight. This is really great, Travis, and this is why we really like getting the drivers. And now you're kind of cool, calm, and collected. You get to assess, and I mean, how much does this come into play for you? Maybe talking to Connor, talking to your teammate, assessing what's going on here.
No, this helps so much, and every driver really it comes down to mistakes, positioning, and every heat matters from the very beginning. Connor Martell's been quicker than me by like 0.00 thousandths of a second every heat, but we were able to get through that heat on the Talladega berm, and you know, looking at these guys out here and seeing Olofsson, I mean, he had one of the biggest crashes I've ever seen in rallycross. And yet here he is, duct tape and all, just crushing it. So it's good to see the safety of the cars and just to see the driver's skill and the teams that are willing to just do anything it takes to go get this win.
Steinsholt goes Joker, going to try and come out in front of Casper Janssen in the background. Janssen on the inside line, carrying a bit more speed, does hold on to that inside line. Steinsholt has to give it up, gives him a nudge. There we go. Oh, he pushes him up high. I think that's a decent pass.
No, he didn't push him.
Great.
no, Robin's racing, Harry. Come on.
That's the driver talking in Travis. I love it. But yeah, gets it done. So Steinsholt in front of Janssen. Janssen closing him down on the brakes now. Brilliant battle for P2. Olofsson has 4.0 over these, so should be able to Joker whenever he wants. Travis, how loose is the Joker? Because there was quite a lot of gravel in it earlier, right on the crest as well. The grip goes away from you just as you go over the top.
Yeah, I mean, the grip really goes away because you see all the tire rubber and everything that's coming off of the cars right there. So if you overshoot this at all, it is so hard to get back to the inside, and then it's a 3-second penalty if you knock that barrier.
Yeah, taking a look at here, Simon Olofsson, Steinsholt, and looks like Olofsson grabs the checkered flag after just so much, you know, tragedy, and comes back, fights back. Travis, you spoke about that. One of the worst crashes, and it was the first race of the first round of Nitro Rallycross. Ends up on his roof, thanks to George McGinnis. Maybe not. I don't know. Race incident. We'll just call it what it is. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But they said, hey, in our production meeting, call it like you see him. Yeah. If Travis Pastrana hit a bollock, or hit a thing or a bollard, we thought he did. Out. We were wrong. We were wrong.
You know? Didn't hit anything. But you know, at the end of the day, we're over here trying to. Oh, here you go. Let's see the
Simon Olofsson, Old Henry Steinsholt, Casper Janssen, and Kyle Schwartz. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, you know, at the end of the day, we want to tell the story. You guys actions speak louder than words, and you know, you don't have a perfect race. Neither do we have a perfect announcer's position. But overall, we're just trying to tell the story.
No, and Casper did absolutely amazing in that heat, but just came. It's really weird where depending on how they water, it changes every time. So a driver like Chris Meek is going to have a very good advantage just being able to drive everything.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. So again, joining us down here once again, Katie Osborne. Katie, what is going on?
Yeah, Travis, meanwhile, your pit looks to be very peaceful and calm. This one in particular, the Dry Ryan Bold Racing JC team, not so much. Quite a few issues for both OC Baby and Fraser McConnell. The big one, though, is the steering issues that they've been having. The power steering actually went out for this, and they are right now changing over the steering assistance system. Incredibly disappointing day. The faces around here, too, everyone's a little bit serious. And as you can see, OC over here is standing by waiting for his car to be under control so he can go out and race here in the semifinals.
Thank you so much, Katie. And yeah, power steering. Travis, I know you've had some issues with that. You talked about that a little bit yesterday. How is it today?
Well, there was 3 of us that actually put it backwards over one of the jumps, and what we found, what Connor said in that first turn, when we went wheel to wheel, they have a lot of assist, but it actually thinks you're trying to turn. So, you know, something to work on. But I tell you what, all in all, these FC1X cars, the suspension, I don't even know how far we can go, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's insane. Who do we have here?
We've got one more NRX next race to go in the semi-finals. Then, of course, they get their last chance qualifiers. All these races decide where they end up on the grid, and well, we'll talk to Travis in a minute about what it means to be at the front of the grid, because Travis is up towards the sharp, and it does make a huge difference. Front row is George McGuinness on the inside, Tommy Howman on the outside. A little bit more experience for Howman. McGuinness he pushes hard, he really does. On the back row, you've got Lane Vakela, and then the outside, Michaela Arlind Kotlinski.
Definitely cool to see Michaela, how well she's really picked up. She jumped on and really caught up to speed. I think she's got the speed to probably run it, if not win these things. It's just awesome to see.
She was so impressive last year in Florida. You may remember she jumped in a side-by-side, never driven one before, and took a race win there. So yeah, brilliant to see her. And we saw Frida Enholm flying as well earlier on in cross-car off the line. George McGuinness gets a better start on the inside.
Much better start for Michaela, but it's 4 wide. It gets super slick on the outside. We'll see who pushes it in.
Oh, contact in the background. Michaela goes round. Michaela Arlen Kotlinski goes high-low. McGuinness is on the inside line of Howman. Oh, a bit of contact again between them. Howman just stays
Michaela looking on the inside. 3 wide over the jump. Nope, didn't go for it.
Oh, look at that back right wheel. The back right wheel of Hallman. It is broken. That back right, he is pointing the wrong direction. See, look at that. Watch it when it comes around. He broke his wheel on that jump, went off sideways, and he's going to be back in the pack. He's going to have to retire.
To be fair, I think he broke it before the jump.
To be fair. Look at that. Yeah, he's drifting. That's the perpetual drifting. So Hallman will be dropping back. Let's see how Michaela now in second. McGuinness, it looked like McGuinness and Michaela were getting into it, like you said, prior to the jump, going over sideways. That just emulsified it even worse. So McGuinness going through the turn, and you can see that battle damage up on that front right.
Yeah, McGuinness, actually, he's got the Hansen brothers helping him out this whole weekend. I'm trying to get the Hansens over to our pit. I'm like, dude, I need some help. You guys have a lot of laps around here, but it's definitely proving to be a huge benefit for McGuinness. He's a phenomenal up-and-coming driver, and it's just awesome to see Michaela as well. She's doing so good here.
Wait, Hansen last year, you were just saying so many bad things about them and saying, no, there's no way, and here you are trying to hire him now? Really? Like, really?
Well, no, I mean, hey, anything to get the win. I'm not above anything, for sure.
Exactly.
No, it's just definitely good to see all the racers coming out and supporting this. And, man, look how close this race is coming down.
Yeah,
right
McGuinness here with the leader. Michaela there, a second behind, goes for the Joker lap. Can she get McGuinness? No way. So, remember, keep in mind, McGuinness still has to hit that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. We got, again, lap 3 of 4 going down, and Hallman has retired. Michaela, 4.2 seconds.
But no, Michaela made up some ground on that last lap. She's really driving aggressively. She's throwing it into the corners. McGuinness, I think, maybe underestimating kind of his competition behind him. If he keeps driving just a little bit on the conservative side, and then Michaela kind of messed that corner up. That's probably going to end her chances, but we'll see. There's still a lot to come.
There's a lot to race, and you talk about that jump. How do you think the season is going to progress? Like you said, I love the analogy, and I said it again today. Lydden Hill here is like the Mona Lisa. Pay respect, respect is due. You put in a crazy bonkers over-the-top nitro jump, would be putting a mustache on the Mona Lisa. What can people expect throughout the season? Both next, FC1X's, Group E, all that.
Now, well, the really cool part is the FC1X chassis it's like an off-road truck. We can make the jumps way, way bigger. And I like to do some tracks where we have some over-under crosses and some parts where, only the FC1X is going to hit that jump. So we can build it to the proper size of just absolute insanity.
Oh
my gosh!
We called it as we just look. I was just kind of changing the subject, but McGuinness spins out. So here's Michaela Kotlinski, who is going to get the victory here on the final lap.
It is so slick coming into that corner. It is so rough. These cars do not have a lot of suspension. That's where you saw all the tractors out there trying to kind of fix where this jump lands and where they come back onto the track. But Michaela looking really good. McGuinness, I did not expect him to make a mistake there.
Not at all. And like you said, you come off that jump, the dirt to the tarmac, and it basically spun him out. So McGuinness, still insult to injury, has to take that Joker lap. So Michaela gets second position. McGuinness gets third. Hallman was out early. So Michaela Kotlinski is your winner here of NRX Next semifinal. So really well done there by Michaela, and that's why you just keep on keeping on. You never know how it's going to unfold.
So impressed with, she's jumping on so many different vehicles, and I tell you what, just really, really impressive to see how much driving she's been doing, how competitive she's been. Not just, good for a girl. Yeah. She's flat out fantastic.
It doesn't matter, female or male. And again, I know you're hey, happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Happy Father's Day. Michaela Kotlinski, Lane Vakela, George McGuinness, Tommy Hallman with that early retirement. And there is our NRX Next Heat semifinal. Taking a look at that A-Shock Energy jump here as we are seeing again. So again, yeah, happy Father's Day. I know you're, a girl dad, you know. So like you said, it doesn't matter. Boy, girl, race car, no gender, man. Just run what you brung.
Get out there and run it, man. Send it, as the start light says.
That's right. How has this track transformed from yesterday to today? Because basically, I feel like the hills have been knocked down a little bit.
A little bit. Actually, they just, you know, at the end of the day,
Modify.
we have to make it as safe as possible. We had, you know, the first jump, the first person to hit the jump goes all the way to flat. It blows out the suspension. First person to really first race we had probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest crashes in all of Rallycross. And as simple as this is compared to the tracks we had last year in the U.S., we still have to build in slowly. I mean, like you said, this is the Mona Lisa. We're trying to do the best that we can to make it safe, to make it fun, and to make it exciting for all the fans that showed up here.
Oh, they're loving it. You're loving it. Everybody wins. And you know what? Down on the track, it looks like we have a gentleman. Andrew, you're supposed to be up here. What are you doing? Come on, get back up here. Down to you, Coley.
I've had to take a little break, Jared. There was so much going on in there. Travis is such a great commentator. I'm slightly concerned for my job. Like, the dude can do anything. But look at this. These lines here, the marshals are coming out. This was where McGuinness went off just a moment ago. And they're picking up the trash, basically, and putting it in the back of the van, taking it. Now, we haven't got any trash down here. We've got, like, pure gold down here. Chris Meek's here. He's supposed to be a rally driver and a bit of a rallycross novice, but he's on the front row. How are we feeling?
It's been an awesome weekend up to now. Honestly, I've really enjoyed it. It's so different than what I used to do in World Rally, but there they closed the door. I was 30 kilometers over a mountain on my own. Here it's short, sharp, intense racing, and yeah, spotters in your ear, push to pass buttons, fully EV vehicle. I've never driven one before, so. But yeah, it's brilliant. What the Nitro guys have done to the track, this big bank turn one, the jump, and also this slick into the bottom of the elbow here at the hill.
This is what I wanted to look at, Chris. So come on over and have a look at this. So look, it's filthy. There's mud everywhere. You guys are cutting the grass on the inside. That's a pretty Chris Meek thing to do as a general rule. That's a cut, apart from the big block, which Travis didn't destroy. You said this is where you think you lost out to Backerud.
Yeah, well, we've seen there just in the last race. I think the guy just got crossed up on the jump. Like most accidents, they normally start 100 meters before. These lines happen before the jump on his takeoff. But yeah, if you get the jump right, you're breaking into here. This dirt has been dragged up to this tight left-hand corner. So lap number one on the heat one, I ran wide here simply because I misjudged the grip. Then I was too cautious lap 2 and 3 when I had the lead, and I think that's where Andreas was able to pull a gap, and then he obviously trumped me into turn 1 of the last lap.
Yeah, he nerfed you off, didn't he? Put you straight up over the top of the bank. You know, I wasn't sure if he'd turned into you, but I've already accused Andreas of stuff today. So Andreas, I'm sorry, mate. He didn't actually. He had his steering to the right. But this is all the contact stuff, the multiple cars. This is the stuff we spoke about this at the start of the season. You know, the racecraft is the thing, but you've done the job to be on the front row. So I guess you just got to, get the whole shot, keep the door shut, job done, take the win.
Yeah, I've had two or three starts off pole position, and I'm able to get into the first corner and round and away. Here, I just lacked a bit of pace, to be honest. I think it's just learning in Rallycross. Even though you're maybe creating a gap, the guy can keep with this push-to-pass system. He can keep enough in reserve to really trump his joker lap and undercut you. So, yeah, it's all new to me. I'm learning, but this was only my third race in Rallycross in 9 years. So let's see. We have a bit more information under our belt for the final, and hopefully we'll be able to hold P1. We'll see.
So Chris has done quite a lot of jumping. He won Rally Finland, which there's a lot of jumps there. If you don't know, there's a few onboards about. You can go and see it. So this jump is, he's done bigger jumps, but this for Lydden Hill, this is a massive jump. This is the A-Shock Energy tabletop. So the up ramp's a bit steeper than the down ramp, and actually the jump kind of looks like butter to us. The FC1X is really capable of soaking them up.
Yeah. First day we had a practice day here in Wednesday, and we're all sort of judging how far we could go. I did hit it flat out, and I landed on the flat, so what's that, 50 meters? So the car can handle a lot, but it's then determining what's the fastest way. And normally when you get your wheels back on the ground in these cars, you have so much potential to go forward. Yeah, it's better to get the wheels in the ground early, but when you're in the air, you're an air brake, you're slowing down all the time, so there's a fine balance.
All right, thanks, Chris. We might get Chris up in commentary in a bit, but in the meantime, back to Jared and Travis.
Yeah, that's right. So again, thank you so much, Coley, and some great insight there. I saw you said when Meek says, "Oh, I'm going to go over and just win this thing." You kind of looked at me like, "What? I'm going to win this thing."
No, well, every driver here thinks we're going to win this thing, and I tell you, just on lap times, you can throw a blanket over every single one of us. So awesome to see Chris, though. I'm just so pumped that he's here. Stoked that Jensen Button's coming here soon, and hopefully Chris will stay with us the rest of the season. I think he was kind of feeling out like Dungy was in motocross, just like, all right, how's this going to work? Or Curly.
Is this worth it? How am I doing? Am I competitive? And obviously he proves that he is is competitive. All right, so we're moving on to our semifinal. We take one of the winners from this semifinal heat. We have another semifinal heat, and then we have LCQ. So who's going to join Travis and the other 3 racers? The 4, we're going to forge an 8-racer final for our, again, Group E. So here we go. Let's throw it down to the start line. Looks like I'm seeing Ollie Eriksson and Connor Martell, Travis, your teammate, and he needs to beat Ollie so he doesn't force himself to go to the LCQ.
This is a must-win, and honestly, you got to look at tires too. The more laps you put, the worse your tires are going to be. So huge advantage to go through from your heat. You know, Chris Meek doing amazing by himself, and then proving that he can go in the Nitro Rallycross as well.
And there you can see Robin Larson, and you talk about Meek there, and there you are, Backerud and Pastrana. It's great to see Backerud back, man. I mean, he's a real fun competitor. He is competitive, and you know, he's got the blue crew with him.
Oh, Backerud, he's extremely entertaining on and off the track. Really fun to race with. Kind of a little scary, but I guess you know, I'm the same, so it's a good time.
Ollie Eriksson, and you know, as his brother has a lot of seat time. Hopefully, we get his brother Kevin back into the mix. OC Vibey, we don't know where OC Vibey's at. Unfortunately, he is not making it to this semifinal. We'll take only one vehicle, so if OC can get his car back together, looks like he'll be forced into the LCQ. 30-second card is out. So again, what was to be a 3-car semifinal. Travis, thank you so much for joining us here, man. And
so
again, you can
what's
stick around. What are your
interesting
final thoughts?
Here, Oliver Eriksson and Connor Martell are both the 2 of the 4 fastest qualifiers on individual time. These guys could go 1-2 in the final, and here they are battling in the semi. Only the winner goes on. The losers got to go to the LCQ, take more risk with their car, take more use out of their tires. This is such a huge moment for both these drivers. Martell being kind of more of the rookie, but look at that start.
Brilliant start by Ollie Eriksson on the inside line. Great job on the commentary by Travis Pastrana.
Right.
He's so frustratingly good at everything, as we said. We're down the
contact. Oh, here we go.
Eriksson gets to the inside line. Martell hangs a wheel over, clips the barrier on the inside, but holds on to the FC1X. He'll launch it over the top, and now he's got a deficit of about a second. So Martell's going to have to push really hard, try and close it down. This is like a battle yesterday, Travis. Really, 2 cars out on track. What does he do?
This is a battle. Now, I tell you, Ollie definitely pushes the issue. These guys are both extremely aggressive. Martell coming from motocross background. Oliver's not going to be able to back off at all, but the hard part is to not overdrive these cars. You have so much power in your right foot, and you start to slide, and you just want to keep pushing it harder to go faster, but you got to let all the way off the gas, because no matter where you are, you always have enough power to make it work.
We can see that banged up arrow there. Ollie Eriksson looks like going with his lips on the front end of the FC1X. Now, what you were talking yesterday about the late braking actually didn't pay off. Talk about that speed too as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been late braking, just backing it into the big old bow corner, and it's been working. You saw Connor Martell use that strategy where Ollie was a little bit, kind of on the inside, but Connor just overdriving the car a little bit here. He knows he has to make up time on one of the fastest drivers that we have in Nitro Rallycross. And look at the front.
So if Eriksson loses the hood off that car, I think it will fly off rather than fly up. Travis will know that if you get the hood of a car up over the screen, you are in all sorts of trouble. But just flapping about in front of him won't be too much of a distraction. 2-second lead now over Connor Martell, with both drivers having jokered. So what are you going to say to Connor when you get back, Travis? I know you guys have been discussing the fact that you've got quite similar driving styles, and you'd maybe like to be able to...
He's doing exactly what I would do here. He's trying to go faster because he knows he has to have a perfect lap, and he's overshooting almost everything, which is killing his tires, which unfortunately is the chance of him catching Ollie right now is not that slim. But that's Connor. You know, he's all send all the time, and Ollie, an amazing driver as well. Just look how well he's just sliding that car around. Oliver's been able to get off of the corners. Usually when all of us start sliding, we have a really hard time getting the car to stop sliding and get it to go straight. He's very patient, Scott Speed-like with that right foot, but Connor has not given up right here.
Yeah, so Ollie Eriksson, look at that. But Connor does hit his fastest lap there, so he is gaining a little bit of time, even though the slip does not say that. 2 seconds between the two of them.
What's the line in the banking, Travis? Like, I've seen a lot of you go up high and almost point the corner off at the top of the banking, then come back down again. We did see you go all the way around the outside yesterday as well.
It's very difficult to go all the way around the outside because sometimes you have to come in and you have to merge. Now, the problem is it's really narrow that comes through, just like the last corner that Lydden Hill is known for. But if you can get in and, oh yeah, pretty close down the back straight.
Look at the speed on the wheel, yeah? That's gone from 100 to 170. That's kilometers an hour, just so quickly. They're ludicrous. They're ludicrous.
But
Yes,
this corner
it
right
is.
here, the left-right coming up to that finish is amazing. And that's what you have up there. But if you go inside, you have a chance to overtake someone in that big bowl corner, but your exit's going to be worse.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the toss-up in the first turn. Do you block the inside at the beginning and give up the speed at the end, or do you go high and just wing it?
Yeah, many different approaches, different lines, and you see the execution. So it looks like Oliver Eriksson does get the win over Connor Martell, which forces Martell and OC to the LCQ. Eriksson moves into the finals. All right, so thank you so much, Travis Pastrana, for joining us up here.
Well, here, let's look at this first turn right here. Really hard to get those off without sliding. Connor decides to go what I did and just pin it. Now, he gets a little high in this cushion right here, and then Ollie decides, he's like, you know what, I'm not going to go inside. I'm going to push him up there as far as I can. So that was, and then the tires. When the tires hit, it almost rips the steering wheel out of your hands. So Ollie definitely getting aggressive, which I was lucky that no one did in my first heat.
Look at those shots. It really reminds me of that one shot of the side by side of ERX Motor Park, and I want more banking everywhere. We just get that high-low front end of the car as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these vehicles can do in different conditions. The FC1Xs are absolutely amazing. Getting ready for our next heat, who's moving on to the finals. Again, thank you again, Travis. Thanks for joining us up here. Congratulations. We will see you in the finals, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, as we are now about to see our NRX Group E, and we are here. Nicholas Gunholm on the front line. Next to him, Fraser McConnell. And in that second row, Ollie Bennett. And now we're seeing 3 vehicles, but only one will advance and get the fast pass into the finals. Who's your money on? Who do you think is going to take this right here?
McConnell versus Gronholm on the front row. McConnell's had a tricky day so far, so Fraz is going to need to pick himself up. If you think he didn't go his way in Group E earlier, he ended up with a bit of contact in turn 1. Then he had the problem in the supercar, so Fraz was keen here to get a decent result. He's got to stay calm, get it done. Niklas Gronholm didn't drive this car until yesterday morning, Jared, and he really impressed me earlier on today. That's not to say Bennett can't get it done for the back row either. Bennett's been one of the ones who's had some of the most seat time during testing. So here we go, off the line, brilliant start from both McConnell and Gronholm. McConnell may be edging on the run to turn 1, but Gronholm has that inside line.
Ooh.
Oh, gives him a tap into that banking.
Inside line or inside McConnell?
Either way, yeah. And then up the inside, Bennett looking to try and find a way through in the background. He's going to wait here, hope they slide wide, but they don't, and it is McConnell that leads as they get up towards the tabletop.
I love riding shotgun there as we're riding with Ollie Bennett. You see how much gravel is being thrown up, and you have to navigate through that. So it's a great perspective on, not just the element of man and machine going against the course. It's man versus gravel and all the elements. So Fraser McConnell out front. I think Ollie Bennett, hopefully he tapped the mind of Chris Meek saying, what's the fastest line? Looking at the data.
Looking at this as well, Jared, what's really interesting is how early Ollie goes up a gear in the car. What Travis was saying a minute ago, just the amount of power they have is absolutely ridiculous. Both Gronholm and Bennett go Joker. And you can see Bennett coming out of Devil's Elbow. He takes third gear literally on the exit. You'd think normally in an IC car you'd wind the revs right up before you do that. He takes it early to try and kill the wheel spin, and he did the same coming out the hairpin at the top of the hill. So more power than traction makes for great racing, and you have to get it right as a driver. All right, you can see 2 laps out of 4. Look at, there's a cracked windshield there, and it's just, again, just all the elements there. That comes into play. That's what you were saying about the old Star Wars thing earlier, the asteroids coming at the screen, and it's busted the screen. Now, I saw earlier on there's a special trailer down at OMSE with a line of about 8 windscreens on it, all the little cardboard things around. They know they're going to be selling a lot of windscreens. For sure. All right, so Fraser McConnell still out front. Good job by him, and there's another flipped up hood there, having that contact. So these cars definitely getting beat up, but Fraser McConnell has yet to hit that Joker lap. Here he is. Oh, and we are hearing that Oliver Bennett has hit that block once again, and it's on the course now. That could come into play. So even though Ollie Bennett still has a fight, he does have a 3-second penalty. And keep in mind, only the winner advances on to the finals. The other 2 vehicles are going to LCQ. At the minute, Jared, this is going the way of Niklas Gronholm. He's jokered already, and he's only 0.9 of a second back now. So Fraser McConnell out front with the bonnet, the hood flapping about. You see it's actually wide open now coming down. So we chase him on the drone. McConnell goes standard lap still, so he's going to wait and Joker on the last one. He's taken a 10th back off Gronholm, but he needs another second if he wants to be even close. Niklas Gronholm is looking really good in the FC1X with very little seat time. Really well done. Again, a famous name, Gronholm.
His father, Marcus Grönholm, just a rally legend, as we can see. Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
Okay.
I told you, gravel, man, it's gonna get you. So Fraser McConnell absolutely riddling.
They're going to need another trailer of those screens, Jared.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
Sold out, all sold out.
Fraser McConnell, can he do it? So look at that. Grönholm gains more ground, only 0.7 seconds. He does need to keep it tight, and we saw Fraser McConnell rotate in supercars earlier today, and unfortunately, that's it. So that 0.9 gap has been now passed, and there it is, 0.8 seconds back. So Grönholm moves on. McConnell in second, and remember, keep in mind, Ollie Bennett, who is 2.7 seconds behind, will assess a 3-second penalty as well. So wrapping up this semifinal heat, there are the results. Congratulations, Nicholas Grönholm in that 8-car final, Fraser McConnell second, and Ollie Bennett in third. Coley, where did it go right? Where did it go wrong?
That was a great start, wasn't it, by McConnell? He was literally, I was just to say he didn't quite have enough to get in front, but he did, and he got a tiny tap from Grönholm, but nothing malicious in the background. Grönholm got a bit sideways over the top of the jump here, look. Super sideways, actually, but got enough lock on to hold on to it. Bennett at this point was in the picture, and he went joker with Grönholm early on in the race. After that, really, Niklas just put the laps in. I reckon this is going to see Niklas back. I'm not going to lie. Remember, Niklas is a stand-in driver for Kevin Eriksson. He's doing a brilliant job. Will we see him back for more rounds later this year?
You know, once that rallycross hits your lips, you definitely want to taste some more. So as we're getting ready for cross car, I'm going to throw it down to Katie Osborne.
OC, baby, it may not be as tired as his team is right now. You just pulled into pre-grid, and unfortunately, we're now out of it, and there was a whole lot of thrashing going on. What was up?
Well, we had an issue with the motor for the steering that broke in the last heat, and yeah, they struggled to change it, and there was some issues with the one they changed it. So yeah. That's how it is. I mean, they did everything they can, but it's nothing we can control. So yeah, we're out of the semifinal and now into the LCQ, and let's see if we can progress to the final from there.
What do you think it's going to take at this point, in addition to power steering?
Well, it helps a lot with power steering. I think we had a really good start on the heat, so hopefully we'll manage to have that again. We had some good tires, so yeah, I think we have a really good chance to make it to the final. So let's hope for that.
We'll wish you the best out there. OC obviously looking to get a good place in his first Nitro RX experience.
All right, so OC Vibey as we get prepared for a cross car LCQ. And here's who we have lining up. Also join us, he's down on the track, he's down on the front row, and he's going to be in that Group E final. Chris Meek joining us up here in the booth. Chris, look good, feeling good? You cool, calm, and collected, or you feeling a little bit nervous?
The fact that I don't know what's coming, I'm probably pretty chilled because, yeah, it's all new to me, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the lineup then for this cross-car last chance qualifier. We've got on the front row Riku Hukar and Isaac Egerson. On the back row, Ronald Baldins and Kalle Gotherson.
Chris Meek, what do you make of these cross cars here as we're getting ready, the 30-second card?
Yeah, a good few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I done some races in the RX 150s, which are pretty similar, but these have a bit more power, but they're wild machines, eh?
Watch the kid, isn't it? That's Riku the kid. There he is, the kid, Hukar on the side. He's had a couple of wheelies this weekend. Can he get one off the line this time? Will it give him that whole shot that he'd like? It's Hukar versus Eganson on the front row, but don't count anyone on row 2 out of it. Well, it's a great start by Bowdens on the second row, but the door gets shut in front of him by both Eganson and Hukar. They get side by side. Oh, a bit of contact in the background round the outside. Kalle Gotherson trying to go high in the 44. Might just pull this off. Bowdens spins. Oh, into the side goes Eganson. Full donut for Bowdens. Yes, gets some. Right the way round, but it's Hukar who leads with a big jump over the tabletop.
A swollen hand and a donut. Ronald Baldins has just been beat up this weekend, man. And keep in mind, this is the LCQ. How many vehicles advance, Coley? I'm not for certain.
I'm not sure if we've got 1 or 2, Jared. One LCQ, so yeah, should be looking to fill up the rest of the grids. I think 2. We'll have 8 cars in each of the finals.
This looks proper fun, huh? This is the first time I watched one of these races all week. I think I need to get myself one of these cars, huh?
See, that's what I was going to ask you. What are your expectations? And normally the kid pops a wheelie, and what's good is I think that was kind of more of a showboat thing. It was more Nitro Circus versus Nitro Rallycross. Yeah. So I think keeping it calm and keeping the contact.
But they're rapid,
better.
They definitely can move great.
Oh, what are your lap times, Chris? Because these guys, this is their first lap. They're getting down into the 47s.
Yeah, we're well on a good lap times of 44.3. So yeah, that was obviously the opening lap off the start line. So let's see lap 2 without a joker what they're getting down to. I would say it's high 45s.
There must be 46s. Somewhere in Andorra you could play with one of these, isn't there?
Yeah, we have a little circuit, but unfortunately it's at 2,700 meters altitude, so the power will be a little bit down. But hey, man, they look a lot of fun.
Ice racing, maybe in the winter?
Yeah, they do it up there, but more with Can-Am. So he's ran wide a little bit on the joker near the barrier, but he's clear.
Hookah holds on through there, committed in his joker lap. Callum Gotherson's gone through as well, so everybody's joker. Gotherson loses out to Eganson at the merge. Bowdens is back at the back of the pack. Ronald Bowdens has got a huge swollen hand. I can't believe he's even out there competing, but great job by him. Jared, I want to get you in one of these. When are we getting you in one?
You got to grease me up a lot of Crisco in order to get in there. That's cooking grease. I don't know if you know that, but it's a brand. But you got to, I don't know, lube me up and then throw me in there. We talked about if I can even fit in that thing. I think it looked more like Diddy Kong or Bowser, you know, like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Grape Ape, you know, running with the fist down.
Well, these look awesome. They really look like if you can handle one of these properly, the car control, how short wheelbase they are, rear wheel drive, throttle control. If you can drive one of these things fast, you can drive anything. Huh?
I completely agree. No diff. They've got me backed in. Yeah, I've had a go at these. Not as well as these guys do. Hookar takes the win from Eganson, Gotherson, Bowdens. But Chris, they get to start driving these aged 11 in Scandinavia, and it's just incredible. There we go, 46.6. So what is it, 2.6 off your lap times?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Huh?
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, they have a good few kilos lighter than us, but it's impressive with only rear wheel drive.
All right, and there you go, Riku Hookah, the kid, getting the win. Isaac Eganson, Kayleigh Gotherson, and Ronald Bowdens is rounding out that 4 here in Crosscar LCQ. Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
Shake and go with true shake. Shake and go. Grab a true shake and go. When we have to put in the work, but I'm moving slow. Grab a true shake and go. School time and not joke time. Office study hard, brain full time. Grab a true shake and go. When we up in the gym, we have to stay healthy and fit. Grab a true shake and go. Shake and go with True Shake. Packed with 9 grams of protein, 24 key vitamins and minerals to keep you going. Grab a True Shake and go.
For generations, farmers have grown the humble, nutritious cassava. Harvested, ground, and then baked to perfection. Cassava transforms into our iconic bami. Now, imagine this uniquely Jamaican product being enjoyed at dinner tables across the world. A taste of Jamaica in every bite. Rainforest bami, from our farm to your table.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
But we solved it all, so now we're back in the fight. Just unfortunately I had to use a new set of tire for that run, so
I'm just picking the best things I have and to go full out on the final.
He's saying he has about 12 tires to choose from, wanting to find the best 4. Wish you the best out there, guys.
Yes, you're on the outside.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Ollie Eriksson. Well, Chris Meek, we'll let you go. Are you having fun, first and foremost?
Yeah, it's been a real nice experience up to now.
There you go. Just to freak you out a little bit more, there's your grid.
Let's see, everything's going to be the start here and getting away. But look, turn 1's going to be a hell of a battle. That'll be the first time I'll go in on the outside probably. So yeah, we're going to have to work out what happens. But yeah, no, it's been an awesome weekend up to now. And let's see, we have a few more events in the season.
That's right.
Maybe we can get to do some more. Some of Travis's tracks in the US would be mega.
All right. Well, congratulations, Chris Meek. We'll see you in the finals. No pressure. Put on a heck of a show.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Robin Larson, Chris Meek, Andreas Backrud, Travis Brown, second row, and filling in row 3, Ollie Eriksson and Nicholas Grunholm. So there is your row 1, 2, and 3. And now we are going on to, yeah, thank you so much. And Meek is out, and we are in. We're talking about supercars. Supercars are there, and it is our LCQ, Tristan Ovenden, Patrick O'Donovan, Fraser McConnell, and Dom Flitney.
So McConnell on the back row in what we know is an absolute weapon of a car. It's a question, Jared, of whether or not he can out-accelerate these guys down to turn 1. I think in terms of spec, he can. Yeah, most of the supercars here in the British Championship are kind of around 10 years old. They're prepped every weekend. That Hyundai is very latest spec. So can McConnell get to the front from the back? He gets a great start. He passed row 2. He's got O'Donovan to go, but all the way around the outside of O'Donovan. Going to try and go high. Patrick gets into him, but Fraser lights the throttle up. He'll pull that back down the banking. Brilliant job by the Jamaican from the outside line at the back.
Yeah, Ovenden, you can see that Goodies vehicle almost getting and taking out O'Donovan, but Fraser McConnell out front. Nice job by him. And talking about format here, the Supercar LCQ, we started with 5 vehicles, obviously the winner advancing on. And where do they shape up? Is this for position?
Yeah, this is going to put them on the grid for the final. So all 5 cars you'll see in the final later on today, but this is going to put these guys through. So there's only 3 laps, remember, in the LCQ. Flitney is right up close behind Ovenden, just 0.4 of a second behind them. Nobody jokes on the first lap, Jared. I'm pretty surprised about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I would think that Ovenden and Flitney would actually go for that Joker lap and maybe gain some ground.
I thought one of them might have done, certainly. Flitney has admitted openly that he's still learning this supercar, and he's hanging on to the back of Ovenden, who has a little bit more experience than him in the supercar category. He only got that Volvo in November last year. Meanwhile, out front, Fraser McConnell, this is his first season in the Hyundai, but he's like a supercar veteran, and he says the car is unbelievable.
Dude, I can't believe that foam block, how many times that thing has actually got punted out of the way. I mean, it's been chipped away. It's I mean, do we make it like a glacier of ice?
There's not a lot left, is there? They've all got little bite marks like they've been featured in Pac-Man or something, you know, like just little bits featured off the side,
Yeah, oh, look at that, Fraser McConnell with the fastest lap right now. Fastest lap he's had so far, lap 2. Going into this, Ovenden.
This is a must-win for Fraser. Ovenden has lost out somewhere Ovenden's gone Joker.
Yeah,
Sorry, my bad. He's gone Joker. So Flitney's gone up a position. That's the little diamond on your screens if you're wondering. That's why that tells you whether or not they've jokered. But yeah, McConnell must win this if he wants to beat Bolevsky, and he does want to beat Bolevsky badly. He wanted to beat him yesterday, wanted to beat him earlier on today, and had that half spin up in the Joker lap. So Fraz knows he's got the pace to do it, but Bolevsky's also got the pace. Yeah, Bolevsky had a podium in the World Championship on his debut last year in the Audi, and he's going to make Fraz's life hard. But the Jamaican comes down. This time he's a little bit more cautious. He's got time to take his time through the Joker lap, and he blasts that Jamaican-coloured, A-shock-backed Hyundai over the line and takes the win in the last chance qualifier. So McConnell will be on the front row with Bolevsky, and we're set up for a great final later on.
You're talking about the final. We talk about Fraz doing double duty in Supercars and Group E. Well, the Supercar final is right before the Group E final. So, you know, that's going to play a role in kind of where his head's at.
Certainly, and he's going to have to jump out of that car and straight into the next one. Result of the supercar then, last chance qualifier, Fraser McConnell, Patrick O'Donovan, Tristan Ovenden and Dom Flitney.
All right, there are the results there for Supercar LCQ as we continue on, as we will see more racing. Don't go anywhere, but Katie Osborne down in the pits. What's going on, Katie?
Well, a little backstory on Fraser McConnell. Coley, you just said he's going to be jumping into the Group E car after this, and of course he will be in the LCQ. Now, the team has been working with the power steering issues that this car has been having, but in fact, one thing to note about McConnell is he said it's actually really difficult to go between the two cars. He said these are so fine-tuned cars that the little differences make a huge difference. And I asked him, I said, so you're telling me it's not as easy as it would think, you're getting some extra laps? He said, no, when you put that helmet on, you have to switch gears. He said the good news is you're holding a steering wheel, you're in the race seat, but it makes a big difference between the two cars. Guys?
Thank you so much, Katie, as we are seeing our next car, LCQ, last chance qualifier. And here we are seeing the grid. There's that. Seeing Schwartz, McGuinness, Hallman, and there you see old Henry Steinsholt on that front row. McGuinness and Schwartz. McGuinness one to watch. Fierce competitor. Hallman, we saw Tommy throw down, but and look at McGuinness. Oh, I'm looking down at the cockpit of McGuinness. He's just clapping, just feverishly getting hyped, getting in the zone. And you talk about his aggressiveness, but you know, he almost had that victory. He spins out. And we saw
it's such a steep learning curve, Jared. Like it really is. I say he's learning circuits incredibly quickly when he gets there. He's going in full attack. He's had a couple of penalties a couple of weeks ago in Sweden for tapping a barrier. You know, he had one again today. He's ended up in the wall. But it's just like Chris Meek, you know, 5-time winner of a World Rally Championship events. It's like it's all part of the learning curve. McGuinness is at the start of his career. Yeah. I think it's going to be a good one.
Here we go. Let's see if McGuinness can get that whole shot. He got it last time. You can see the front exposed Yokohama tire up front, and here we go.
Kyle Schwartz outside him, trying to out-drag him down to turn one. McGuinness will go deep here and try and push him up the bank. The inside line's getting clean. Look, that's what Travis was talking about, the cushion, which is the loose dirt around the outside. Schwartz goes around the outside of Ola Henry Steins, or at least stays around the outside of him, but it's McGuinness leading from Hellman.
McGuinness and Hellman, 1-2. Schwartz, Steinsholt there bringing up the rear. Now keep in mind, this is the LCQ for our next vehicles.
We're going to see some very quick drivers further down the grid than we thought, Jared,
yeah.
aren't we? You know, these guys, Hellman and McGuinness, we would have expected to be further up the grid than this. So they're going to have some work to do in there if they want to take the big W here in the UK. Kyle Schwartz tagging onto the back there of Tommy Hellman. That's a good person for him to follow. Schwartz has been doing some extra events. We know he started, didn't we, in Next just last year. And again, like drag racing to NRX Next. Big difference.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about the next cars, you know, going from last year to this year. The variety of winners and the people that we got to see throughout being on the podium. And I think that's if this is shape of things to come. I mean, figure we have 10 rounds. That means that's 20 rounds of next car going for the championship. That's a lot of racing, a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, sure is. I think one of the best things about rallycross generally is people come from a lot of different disciplines. Yeah, if you want to go and do what Chris Meek's done with rallying, you've got to learn pace notes, just like Travis. It's super hard. You want to go and learn single seaters, you've got to learn about aero. But with rallycross, we can take somebody from motorbike racing and get them stuck in. Hellman is getting stuck into the back of George McGuinness. Is he going to go joker this lap? He does, because remember, it's only 3 laps in the last chance qualifier. Hellman in maximum attack mode. Little bit sideways in the second bar there. Might have lost a bit of time, but if Schwartz doesn't get in his way, and in fact, Steinsholt's going to get in his way at the merge.
Well, keep in mind, all of them have not taken their joker lap, so Hellman's the only one. Mind you, he's almost there in 30s, fighting for Steinsholt and that number 3 spot, but obviously he's going to jump up. Is there enough time? There's 3 seconds between our lead. Oh, the block was hit, by the way. The block was hit. Who was that hit by?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to try and guess.
No.
We just keep getting it wrong, Jack. The block got hit. The stewards decide. We just crack on talking about cars.
Yeah, just he went that away. Just fingers being pointed at different people. It looks like the Spider-Man meme. Everybody's kind of looking at each other. Who was it? Was it you? Was it me?
Hellman is desperate to get past Ola Henry Steinsholt here because it's costing him time. McGuinness is in the joker, but McGuinness is deep on the first bar, but he's going to have enough. George McGuinness crosses the line to take the win in the LCQ from Tommy Hellman. That little bit of traffic hurt him bad. It's Schwartz who gets P3, and Ola Henry Steinsholt slots into 4th.
Who hit the block?
I don't know, I've got to be honest, I was looking at the timing screen. I don't know.
I know you were, but I look up and there's just shrapnel of foam on the track. Like
we need more blocks.
Chopping away. We'll see.
I've got an idea for a business, Jared. Do you reckon
that?
We can get those blocks into our hand luggage? We'll just bring some to each event. Think how many windscreens OMSC are selling. You and me could be supplying huge polystyrene blocks for this event. What do you think?
Coley and Dienda's windscreen and foam blocks.
That's how you do the screen. Maybe we could put the screens in the foam blocks for transit and then like sell the foam blocks afterwards. Have we just given away like a seriously great business idea?
No, because now we put it out into the atmosphere.
That's true.
And
Does that mean, is that patented?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so don't you even try it.
No.
Coley will come after you.
Yeah.
And his dog. His vicious dog. It'll cuddle you to death. George McGinnis gets the victory. Congratulations. McGinnis, Hallman, Schwartz, and Steinsall. We'll see if any penalties were assessed, as we got a little foam party out there on track.
Right, maybe we can get an idea here of who smashed up the block. But more importantly, the tactics of this one. McGinnis was going really well out front, was he? Look at the car, still battered from ending up in the wall just after the landing. Hallman just applied so much pressure to him. This was Hallman closing down, look, onto the back, and he was literally on the back bumper. I was quite impressed that Hallman got into the Joker so quickly, because when there's a car in front of you, Jared, you can get your Joker entry compromised. This was the last lap. All coming in quite hot. Steinsall's Joker actually looked the best at the back of the pack, but McGinnis did enough to take that checker.
Overall, this LCQ very exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next cars in their final. And this, oh man, look at that. This is the next LCQ. And we are seeing Connor Martell pulling up to the line. Connor Martell pulls up. And we're getting the track prepped a little bit here, but again, I've been having a great time. But I think who's also having fun is Katie Osborne. So let's throw it down to her again.
Jay, that's absolutely true. I'm getting my steps in as well. Behind me, you can see OC Baby. The car is ready. They're hollering at him to get ready to go, but the team was just clapping. They got that power steering under control. Meanwhile, Connor Martell behind me, they told me that they did mention the fact they got his car completely clean. There were no changes. Meanwhile, Oliver Bennett, some of the changes that they made to that car is the rear suspension, trying to get him a little bit more comfortable out on this track. Was having some issues with that earlier. So we'll see that how the LCQ kind of comes together today, but a couple of them will be joining us in the finals.
Group E LCQ, the Group E LCQ. Now this is the last straw. This is the last heat. It's called the LCQ because that stands for the last chance qualifier. 4 cars, only 2 will go to the finals. The other 2, they're watching from the side on the debut of these cars making history. We'll see 8 of these FC1X all-wheel drive, 1,000 horsepower rocket ships. And this is what we're seeing right now. These drivers, Robin Larson, talking about Chris Meek, Andreas Backrud, Travis Pastrana, Oliver Eriksson, and then Nicholas Grunholm. Who are the final 2?
And that back row, yeah, row 4, that's LCQ first look and LCQ second. Last chance qualifier, if you're wondering. Inside line to the person who comes first and outside line to the person who comes second. Fraser McConnell on the front row has just had a great performance in Supercars, so he's fired up. But Jared, it's not that easy to swap between these different machines. Martell on the inside line. We had his teammate Travis up here. Travis was saying he's got to wind it back just 2% to get where you want to be.
Here is the Group E LCQ. Connor Martell on the front line. His VSC Vermont Sports Car teammate already in the finals. Fraser McConnell, you know, the pulse, the heart pulse has got to be up. He took a shock and he's back in the car. And then on that back row, Ollie Bennett, Excite, and then OC Vibey. Looks like they are alternating positions. They are on that back row. Ollie Bennett, one to watch. So again, other teammates, they're in the mix. These guys, again, only taking 2 to the finals. Who gets the whole shot? Who gets it? Again, we're talking about 3 laps, all thriller, no filler. What do you think?
We saw that amazing start by Vaby, didn't we, from row 2? Look at the screen there on the car, all the wind chips in the front of it, in the front of the windshield. That goes up the 30 board. They're going to get the 10 board. This is real pressure, Jared. You know, we've got across the entries. This is, you don't want to lose. You don't want to be one of the 2 that doesn't make it. That's really disappointing if you are. Yeah, if you're in the final, you can win. Stranger things have happened. You can win from the back row. If you're not there, obviously game over. Here we go. Nitro lights coming on. Going to get that green, and we're going to see who gets away from the line fastest. Vaby with a good start from the back row, but the best start by Martell on the inside line. Fraser McConnell going to try and go around the outside of him. Door shut on the inside there. It's Vaby moves across into P3. You ride on board with him now. As you see McConnell looking inside. Connor Martell. Martell goes high-low. and holds on from McConnell, flicks the car the other way and now launches it over the crest. Great driving from Martel out front.
Yeah, Connor Martel, he says, you know, he takes that Talladega turn very nicely. He goes low, but Travis was talking about him going high. Connor says he's a little quicker in that Talladega turn. Right now, he's proven to be correct. And you can see the windscreens on the cars in 2, 3, and 4 position. Connor Martel, he's got the clean air. And, you know, Katie even said, hey, the car looks really good, but the other cars definitely beat up. Let's see if Connor Martel can hold a position. Anybody going for the Joker? Yes. OC Vibey goes for it.
It's a tidy Joker. It's a tidy Joker, Jared. You want to look on the way in for them not running too wide from those blue bollards on the inside line. Getting a nice straight exit, getting the power down. McConnell is literally in the back of Martel. Looks to the inside line. McConnell alongside now as they come up to the big jump. Are they going to go side by side? No. Martel just edges him. And now Vaby's in behind Ollie Bennett, so this could cost him if Bennett isn't as quick as Vaby. Watching for those in the background now. Vaby needs to get past Ollie Bennett. Ollie doesn't want him to, obviously. Oh, we've got a problem up the hill. Martel, no!
Martel slows down going up the hill, and he obviously has some issues. He had his fastest lap, and he's going to drop down immediately. He goes to the back of the pack. Fraser McConnell is smiling ear to ear. You can see through his A-Shock helmet. What do we got?
OC Baby so sideways. Woo! He went round the outside of Ollie Bennett as they came down the hill. Baby is up into P2 and has jokered already. So Baby now is the danger man for Fraser McConnell. Remember, it's only 3 laps and up the inside. Bennett tries to pass Baby and does, so it gives him a nudge. Baby goes up high, so he's made that move.
Again, they're going for the top 2 spots. Baby and Bennett are going for it right now. They know if they don't get past each other, Baby spins, but Bennett did hit the block as well. Oh my gosh. So we have absolute insanity going down.
There was contact in the first corner. You now see Bennett's hit the block. Baby has spun. Baby looks down at the wheel. He's shouting something to his spotter. You can see on the radio, maybe just swearing at himself. But apart from that, Fraser McConnell, your leader, comes down. He's just taken a great victory in the last chance qualifier for Supercar. And he's going to take victory in the last chance qualifier for Group E as well. McConnell, his day picks up big time. Over the line for the win. Bennett crosses in second, but Jared, you know what? P2 to P3. Wow. I'm really not sure how that's going to play out.
Yeah, 2 and 3, you can see about, you know, it looks about 4 seconds between as finally Connor Martel making his way down the hill. Fraser McConnell, like I said, you can see the grin. There is OC inside the cockpit of his vehicle. I mean, the car, you know, he got forced to the LCQ. Can you read lips? Can you read lips there?
No, but do you know what? Sometimes this is one thing with the Group E cars is sometimes you can hear what they're saying in the car. Over the transmission noise is actually pretty loud, as you can hear. You can actually hear when they change gears as well. There's a big clunk, but Baby doesn't look happy to me. That may be the contact between him and Bennett. It may be the fact that he dropped it on. I didn't see what happened off the jump. Right, take a look again at turn 1. So watching in the background now. So McConnell's doesn't. I thought he was going to look inside. He didn't. He lifted, didn't he? Definitely, and gave Martel a bit of space. That's Baby coming round Bennett. So it's the next bit that's key, as you see in the background. Martel going joking, but I think he's already had his problem. And we're not going to see the contact. So there's Bennett hitting the marker. Baby spins, but we didn't see the contact in turn 1. Jared, did you see it between Bennett and Baby clearly?
I did not. To be quite honest, I did not see the contact. Baby rotates, spins. Fraser McConnell, like you said, had that supercar victory, so that momentum definitely pushed him here. Fraser McConnell is going to the finals. We know that for sure. Little track preparation there, and again, there is what we see. We'll see if any penalties were assessed or what's going on, and I'm not for sure seeing anything for certain. And the no, that's next car. So Fraser McConnell, Ollie Bennett, OC Vibey, and Connor Martel. Unfortunate turn of events for Connor. Shuts her down. All right, as we wrap up, and we are forging our 8-car Group E final. Throw it down to you once again, Mrs. Osborne.
Fraser McConnell's getting comfortable getting out of the car. In fact, those extra laps may have paid off for you, in fact. Walk us through that. You got the sweats on. Yeah. It's been tough work out there.
Yeah, you know, it is really tough doing 2 cars at once, and it is a little frustrating when mechanical things happen that spectators can't really see that make the performance look really bad. But you know, we're able to reset our mind and go into each session with a fresh mindset. And you know, I've been training for this for the last month or so to really be in shape for this sort of thing. And yeah, you see the sweat, but I'm not really tired. I can go all day. You're
going to go out there and run it. You're talking about some of the challenges that you were having. What are some of the changes that the car is going to be made for the final?
Well, right now we're just going to try to get some charge in it in the first heat race, the power steering motor went, and that made it 1,600 kilos trying to steer with no power steering is not an easy job. But you know, like I told you, I'm prepared for this, and it doesn't really faze me. So, other than performance, time-wise, I'm still ready to go. The guys here at DRR and JC are doing the best they can to, you know, give me the best package. A-Shock's on board, been preparing, you know.
And guys, he's still smiling. That's important.
Well, it's all about having fun, but it's all about getting the win. And talking about having fun, Coley, we kick things off at what we call your home track, you know, the birthplace of Rallycross overall, Lydden Hill. I think it's only customary, but this is 10 stops that this Nitro Rallycross Global Tour is going to go on. What's to be expected? What's to be is absolutely a good time. So let's take a look at our 10-stop world tour. This is a global tour, baby. So Great Britain is our first stop on the Nitro Global Tour. And when the dust settles here, it's on to the Scandinavian swing of the championship, taking in both Sweden and then Finland to round out Nitro's European leg. We then head stateside for 3 events. Cars that fly here at ERX. Let's set it in Glen Helen Raceway. The Nitro Rallycross continues here at Wild Horse Pass. Saudi Arabia takes us to our 3rd continent of the season. Then it's a double whammy of action in the Canadian winter. First Quebec, and then on to Alberta. The Nitro Global Championship will be concluded at a mystery venue. Where that is? Well, take a wild guess.
Here comes the 199.
10 stops. The Nitro Global Tour is going to deliver on all fronts. We got Europe, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and of course the States. It's going to be all thriller, no filler. It's going down here in 2022. Dude, I'm excited. I know we had some awesome rounds last year, and, you know, ERX, Minnesota, I'm looking forward to that. But what, you know, again, being out here, Sweden, Finland, Saudi Arabia, dude, it's going to be sick.
It's going to be nice for you to come over Sweden and Finland. I've been lucky enough to be out there a few times for Rallycross. There's a lot of good tracks up there. There's a lot of good drivers. That's going to be cool. We'll be heading back to your home track, Glen Helen, you know. So, yeah, I'm excited for the season. 10 rounds, goes right through till March next year. So, yeah, no winter blues.
All right, we are getting set here for our cross car final. And there we see it. Coley, we have these 8 vehicles here. Who do we have?
On the front row, it is Alex Gustafsson and Sebastian Enholm. On row 2, it's Pasi Benton and Thomas Ekmerstad. Jimmy Osterberg and Frida Enholm on row 3, Riku Hukar and Isaac Eganson on row 4. So this is going to be a busy one. 8 cars on the run down to the first corner.
10-second card is out. Let's see our cross car final. Who's coming out on top? Who's popping wheelies? Who's going high flying? Cross car final to be the first of 4 finals here at Nitro Rallycross Global Tour, as a little hush falls over the crowd.
Maybe held the start. Yeah,
little
held
hiccup
the start
there
for some reason.
Held the start. Got to think what's going through the racers' minds. Looks like our start light. Just a little hiccup here. 6 laps. 6 laps. The cockpit's very small, very narrow, but it's difficult to see the lights from the back of the pack.
Yeah, I think it might be one of the drivers that's just waved to say I can't see the lights. So it's just because obviously cross car he's a way back and with the angle. So what they might do is just move him over just a little bit so they can see a little bit further up the road.
And I really don't think there's any true advantage for just being staggered over a little bit just to get vision and get eyes on those start lights. There's no major advantage. So rolling them out just a little bit, get them prepped, make sure that they can obviously see when they need to go. That launch is so essential.
I think some people would assume, Jared, that, you know, you can just go when the others go and that won't leave you behind, but it will. Like if you waited to see another car move compared to waiting to see the light, you get the delay of the light and then them moving. I think 0.3 is like an ultra fast reaction. So if you think it would be 0.3 for them and then you'd be 0.3 off them, so you're back. Yeah, so he's got to be able to see it. They've moved him over a bit. Good call. I'm now wondering about FC1s and thinking whether or not they're pretty big. You know, they're pretty big.
They're sizable. They are sizable. Here we go. Now let's restart. The cross car final is here. 8 vehicles. 30-second card is out. We spell out Nitro, then it's go. Nitro to go to send it. 10-second card. Flip it over. A little staggered start there for the 67 in the back of the pack. Who's going to get the whole shot? NITR. Let's go. And send it. Cross car. Final is here.
Not a great start by Pasi Penton, went backwards on row 2. Riku Hukar looking up the inside of Osterberg. Osterberg gets squeezed in between them in the background, but Sebastian Enholm has the whole shot, runs a bit deep. Alex Gustafsson in the white car, Penton looking inside as well. Oh, his teammate gets into the back of him, so Riku Hukar into the back of Pasi Penton in turn 1, but Enholm leaps up into the lead, and it's the 2 GRZ cross cars in behind. So Sebastian Enholm, your leader, with Alex Gustafsson right behind.
Yeah, Enholm did a great job. Now you gotta think that the racecraft that he had last time really just kind of fired up again. Look at it getting sideways, pulling that front right wheel off the ground.
Look at the inputs in the car as well. If you just the little yellow line at the top of the wheel will give you a good idea of just how many inputs there are into each turn. The front 5 cars, front 6 cars, nobody jokers from that. In the background, you've gone in Jimmy Osterberg, Isaac Eganson have both gone joker on lap 1, so they've lost out on that first lap, Jared. They're going, you know what, there are 6 laps, I'll gamble on getting myself some clean air.
All right, so both the Enholms there, you got front and back.
Pentonen having a look in the background at Gustafsson, waiting for them to come over the jump. He was right alongside him. Gustafsson made a mistake in turn 2.
All right, Gustafsson there in second, holds on to that position. Pentonen is threatening getting one of these podium finishes. But, man, look at Enholm absolutely dominating right now. Sebastian out front, 1.8 seconds, and we're only 2 laps in.
Yeah, it's an amazing drive. So Enholm did a couple of rounds of the Rally X Series last year, not this year. Only turned up for the first 2 rounds, had a great time there, got some brilliant results, and then we haven't seen so much of him at the highest level, but this is a pretty high level for cross car now that Nitro Rallycross has adopted this category. I think you're going to see there are so many of these cars in Europe. This for us is what side-by-side is for you guys. There are so many of these cars. There'll be people banging down the door. Can I come play in Sweden and Finland, please?
Well, even Travis says, dude, these are sweet. I know multiple people that'll buy these like now.
And Chris Meek, so I like these. I want to buy one.
Yeah,
Chris took one look at the timing screen. He's like, take my money.
Oh no, we got to spin.
Oh no, in the background, that's Pasi Penton and Riku Hukar. So problem for them, they're going to get eaten up by the pack in the background if they're not too careful. Oh, it's Osterberg, coming around the outside. So Penton's already lost out. Hukar inside, and Osterberg trying to go around the outside. Hukar puts him out almost onto the grass. Gustafsson and Enholm are miles in front now.
Wow, Enholm absolutely just gaining more ground. 2.3 seconds.
Oh no! Hukar, you were on the camera, just you saw it there. Our camera got taken out. Enholm, Riku Hukar has taken out the wall in the Joker lap.
Now this is where it gets interesting. We might see a red because if he's impeding on the other racers who have not completed the Joker, which is our leader Enholm and Osterberg, who's currently in 3rd, that could slow things down.
I reckon there's enough room to get a car through, Jad. I'm with you, and I agree completely. But rather than red flag it, I think there's enough room to get a car through. And with the gaps that they are at the front, if it was super close, I'd agree, wouldn't you? You're hoping race control.
Well, we're about to find out. Yeah. Here we go. Into the Joker lap goes our current leader, Enholm. No problem for Enholm.
Look, all right, get in. You modify it, I'll smash it.
Yeah,
no problem.
NBD, no big deal. Enholm holds on at lead, 4.92 seconds now. Gustafsson with lap 5. And the only one not to hit the Joker lap. So I am glad that they're continuing on. I know you're like, don't slow the race down. Let's go. Let's keep the party going. Let's keep it
good,
going.
Isn't it? It's good.
Yeah.
But it's Osterberg who might lose out. So he's only 1.3 seconds up the road from Pasi Pentonen. And I wonder if when he goes Joker, he's going to get swallowed up in the background. He'd be rightly a little bit annoyed by that if that's the case. But love to see that incident at the. It looked like it was off the jump, wasn't it? And into the corner at the bottom of the hill. We were just talking about how many people wanted to buy cross cars at that moment, checking out the timing screen, and whenever you look down, that's when it always kicks off.
Last lap for Enholm, and here we go, going into the Joker lap. Our final driver, Osterberg, gets a clean one through that Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
Yeah, it slowed him down a fair bit, hasn't it? I don't know, actually, Jared, that would have been the difference between hanging on or not. You know, Yemi will say it was, and I'll say he'll be a little bit annoyed about it. I'm going to spin up in turn 1 as well. So that looks like Pasi Pentonen has spun in turn 1. There he is, picking up the pieces. So Pentonen, they were right up there. Pentonen and Hukar were right up there at the start of this race, but Sebastian Enholm has been absolutely brilliant.
And just that you could see throwing it sideways, being comfortable with the cross car. Sebastian Enholm taking it home. One more turn for glory and some great racing.
Look at the battle though going on behind. So Enholm comes across and takes the win, whereas we've lost P2, we've lost Gustafsson. Coming up over and then over the line for P2, so we lost Gustafsson. It's Enholm, Frieda Enholm. So it's Sebastian Enholm and Frieda Enholm take it as P1, P2, and we're hearing up the hill. There's Gustafsson's parked up the hill.
Oh,
so
man.
it's an Enholm 1-2, and there's Gustafsson from P2.
Oh, man.
Oh, disaster.
So Enholm and Osterberg, don't know, again, trying to, you know, only got two eyes. They can only go in one direction. I tried to make him go left and right. It just doesn't work. And so there we go. Enholm 1 and 2. Osterberg there in third. Wow, Gustafsson.
Look at this. This is a family celebration,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like the Enholm. Amazing. Sebastian Enholm, Frieda Enholm, either side of poor old Alex Gustafsson, who's parked in the middle of the road in the 199. Jimmy Osterberg lifts up the door. They're all waving and fist pumping. They've had a blink. Osterberg did get P3 in the end after we thought he wouldn't with the Joker. And there's confirmation of your result.
Yeah, really well done. Congratulations, Sebastian Enholm, making history here for the first ever Nitro Rallycross cross car final here at Lydden Hill. Frieda Enholm gets second. As you say, it's a family affair, 1 and 2. And Jimmy Osterberg gets third place. There's our podium finish for cross car. As that is a wrap for cross car, and we'll be moving on to next here in just a little bit, but let's go down to Katie Osborne.
Oh, limited changes for Oliver Bennett. A little bonnet work and some new tires for the team as he potentially is going to be in the finals. How confident are you knowing that is going to be happening?
Knowing what I know now, I'm pretty confident, but you know, never count your chickens before they hatch. Until I see the list, then we'll really know, but it's looking good at the minute.
What was the issues there? Walk us through kind of that semi.
So it was a really heated semi, a lot of passing in corner one. I actually had a little nudge in the top of my rear that pushed me onto the grass. I had to gain in place back. So yeah, tricky final. A lot of racing, which is great for the fans. But yeah, there was obviously a few of us also hit some markers, which a couple of us have had a penalty each for, which still leaves me in P2, hopefully. So yeah.
Now I am getting told there is some breaking news that you have been excluded from the final. Okay. Pushing and for some pushing and some rubbing. That's what we're being told. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, news to me. I got pushed at the top of the hill as well in spun off, so yeah, a little bit surprised at that. I'll check with the team and see what that is all about.
Okay, we're wishing you the best on that. We're hoping he's going to be making his first final, but again, news we're hearing.
Yeah,
we'll
thank
see.
you.
Wow. So, you know, that's, yep. Sipping the excite, he says we'll see, and 5-second penalty, pushing, overtaking. So that's difficult news to break to a racer, and thank you, Katie, for delivering that.
Yeah, it's harsh. Unfortunately, that came through just when, you know, you could see how excited Ollie was to have made the final. But Katie's got to tell him, you know, we found out it's on race control, so he is out. And OC Baby, who I think it was a judge that he had pushed, is in along with Fraser McConnell on the back row from the LCQ.
Yeah, that's great. So you can see again. Meek, Larson, Pastrana, Backerud, Grunholm, Erickson, Vaby, and McConnell is in. So absolutely great. So that would mean that Ollie Bennett and Connor Martell are out for the finals at our first ever, making history. 8 Group E vehicles in the final. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. Now, one of those drivers who went through from the LCQ on the back row was Fraser McConnell. We're going to be following him all season, and we caught up with him before the season began.
What's up, guys? Fraser McConnell here. We're at A-Shock HQ. Come with me, let's go take an office tour. I would say my goal for the future is to be the most successful rallycross driver. Someone that people can look up to and look back and say, Fraser did a wicked job. You know, did his country and his sponsors proud, so striving for greatness. I consider myself a person that uses clean product. It's like race gas, you're not going to put bad fuel in your car, you know? You put something good in, you get something good out, and A-Shock helps me bring the best out of my performance.
Fraser McConnell, a Jamaican in an ice bath. I mean, he didn't even like being in Finland the other week when it was about 20 degrees C, and he was wearing a hoodie and a hat, and he's I'm so cold, and there he was sitting in an ice bath. But it's good to see him. Good to see him going super prep with it. Now we think we might have some footage of some of the rubbing that could be racing or could be penalised,
right,
with Ollie Bennett and OC Baby. So let's take a look at what they found. Now, this isn't, I must add, this isn't from race control. This is just what the TV guys have found in the truck. So it might not be the incident, but I think it probably is the incident. The thing is, Jared, it's whether or not you have been adjudged to push somebody wide and past them. So, what do you reckon?
Using them as a backstop. I mean, we see this in Supercross. We see it not so much in Formula One, but, you know, is it malicious? Is it kind of a racing incident? It seemed, you know, obviously goes hard into it, and you see that momentum just kind of deflecting, right? So, I unfortunately, I got to think that Ollie, with him just coming in hot, bouncing off, I see the penalty.
Yeah. Do you remember last year? So although Kevin Hansen ran wide, didn't he? And then Liam Doran ran wide.
Yeah.
And that one we felt different about because they'd both run wide. The stewards felt Liam was at fault. We were both a bit like, man, they both run wide. You know,
Yeah.
but the question they often ask is, would they have made the corner without the contact? Or not even made the corner. Could they have held their line without making the contact? So, maybe.
What started as kind of a chilly day, you could see some sweatshirts, some jackets, a little bit of little beanies here and there, but it's turned out to be a beautiful day here at round 1 of Nitro Rallycross here at Lydden Hill.
Everyone having a good time, I think, from the looks of things.
I think everybody's feeling it. Like I said, the weather is absolutely hitting. A little bit of a breeze clears out. I haven't seen much dust. They've been doing a good job of watering it down overall.
The track guys have been brilliant. It's, you know, it was built over here, and then our American friends who are real dirt experts came up with a plan to water it little and often because chalk can get waterlogged.
Yep. All right. So again, Tommy, where have you been, buddy? You're getting tattooed. You're getting food. What's going on next?
Some of the best parts of Nitro Rallycross, the event, are the actual fans that come down here all weekend, and we're camping and hanging out and sleeping here at the track. I'm joined with Peter, superfan. My man's got cameras. How you doing, Tommy? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So it looks like you got a pretty sick rig here. You got a sick camera, sick rig, and you got tons of stickers. So you're obviously a rally fan.
Yeah, I'm a Rallycross fan. I follow it since late 80s. So I've been to almost everywhere in Europe and beyond, Sweden and so. Try to follow as much as I can.
So you're very familiar with this track, and what does our event? How does our event do with the ones that you've been to before?
Well, I've been a couple of times to Lydden before, and it's nice to see the jump here. It's a big improvement for Lydden, I think. So it's a nice track.
So you're not offended by our style?
No, not yet. I hope it doesn't come.
Yeah, it's a very traditional track.
It's a very traditional track, but with some nitro stuff inside now. So yeah, very cool.
That's cool. So like, it's good to hear that we're pumped on that we're creating history with the track that's already got a rich history.
Yeah, very much. So.
I see that you have a ton of stickers on this rig. You even made your own.
I have my nitro sticker I made myself, but there should be more on this, I think.
Our trademark lawyers will be talking to you later about that, just to let you know. But just so we got you some official gear, this is the same stuff that I'm rocking. This is, got you a hat, a hoodie, and it's a little cold, so got you a beanie. Yeah, there you go. And Jared Deanda, we got a Jared Deanda Send It sticker. This is his personal sticker. He makes these. Is it cool if I slap that? All right, so that goes up on there. We're gonna customize the rig. Send it all day.
All right. Perfect.
Appreciate the time, brother. Enjoy the racing.
Right. No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let me get some pictures later.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Back to you guys.
Awesome. You got to love it, man. Hardcore fans, and you know that gentleman, and he travels all, since the 80s. I mean, that's awesome.
I've met him at a bunch of events. He loves Rallycross, absolutely loves it. And he came to me this morning and said, oh, I'm going to be on the TV later. He was so excited. And Peter, it's a pleasure to have you along, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. And a sticker from Jared, a Send It sticker on the caravan. Don't send it too hard in the caravan.
All right, as we get set for our next cars, let's throw it back down to Katie Osborne.
Well, I can confirm that the team has not started any beers around here. It is not beer time yet for OC Baby. The team is back in, and you're ready to go racing.
Yeah, finally some luck this weekend. It's been quite tough, I have to say, but yeah, it was hard racing, and yeah, I got pushed off there. So yeah, that's how it is, and we're into the final. So looking forward.
This may have been the hardest working team here today. Best of luck out there, guys.
And there we go. Coming into focus there are the NRX Next Finals. And we have a variety of vehicles. You can see 8 vehicles in the final. And here they are. Who do we have?
Simon Olofsson on the pole after yesterday's crash. An absolutely brilliant performance to battle his way back and be on the pole today. Next to him, awesome. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski. Row 2, Kasper Janssen, the current Nitro Rallycross champion. And Lane Michaela, who's having a really good weekend. 2 super fast chargers stuck a little way further back. George McGuinness on row 3 with Tommy Howman. And bringing up the rear, it is Kyle Schwartz and Ola Henry Steinsholt, who is another one who's really picking up pace in these cars recently.
All right, there they are. You see all the different sponsors and different drivers, different countries being represented. Let's get ready for our Nitro Rallycross Next Finals. NITRO, let's go, baby! Nitro Rallycross Next, send it. 8 cars, and we're looking at 6 laps, Coley. This is for the trophy. This is to get on the podium.
Front 2 rows pretty tidy there, Jared, to be honest. It's only Howman who's trying to make a rib around the outside. As we see a bit of bodywork flying off Arlen Kotlinski's car. McGuinness gets up the inside of her. So George McGuinness already up from row 3 into P3. Great job by him. It's Olofsson leading from the champion, Kasper Janssen. McGuinness slots into P3. Arlen Kotlinski is 4.
It looks like Steinsholt is stranded out there on the bank. Ole Henry way back there, so that's falling back in 8th. But Olofsson, like you said, from being on his roof to now being in the front of the pack, from yesterday to today, quite a different scenario.
Yeah, he's got 6 laps to go, Jared, but he's going to be hoping he can pay back the hard work of his team, his mechanics, his sister Sandra Holgren, who's been working on that car overnight as well, the team boss. Like, they had to work so hard. We know they've got some homemade parts on the air intake just because there weren't any parts available, so they've had to make one to try and direct the air into the engine. He kicks up some dirt around the outside, goes up high in the loose. McGuinness looks to the inside line of Kasper Janssen in the background. A little bit of contact between them. Janssen runs wide from our commentary position. Oh, and off the side of the jump, George McGuinness has gone off the side of the jump with broken steering. Ends up, he's had to park the car where
Kasper
he's
Janssen.
sitting.
Look, Kasper Janssen, that front right suspension. Oh man, that thing is banged up. And what's crazy is McGuinness goes off to the right, and that's where, you know, we saw Simon Olofsson go off. Fortunately, doesn't end up on the roof, but it looks like, oh man.
Look, McGuinness has got going, Jared. That was what I was worried about. Is he was parked right on the exit of the super high-speed chicane here. He was parked on the grass on the left. Olofsson is so far in front, it's ridiculous. If I would send him Joker next lap just for safety if they get the opportunity. It's Arlen Kotlinski who's in P2. Janssen needs to get that off the track. There's no need to try and drag that round. I don't think he's going to gain anything, and he is. So Kasper Janssen from our commentary position, we can see is taking it off. In the background of this, the battle for P2 is picking up. So behind Simon Olofsson, behind Olofsson, the battle for P2 is really hotting up. Wait for it in the back. Here it is. There it is. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski coming under serious pressure from Tommy Howden. Behind that, Kyle Schwartz is in the mix, Jared.
Oh, my gosh. So Simon Olofsson, yeah, you're talking about Michaela, but I'm seeing 2 vehicles with broken wheels fight for, it looks like, 6th and 7th position. I really think they need to pull off there. It's going to become a liability, to be quite honest.
So Howman has Joker already looking 3rd place. So he really is, he's hoping that Arlen Kotlinski will go in a minute. Arlen Kotlinski's got good pace.
Look at the Joker has been beat up.
Who smashed the Joker to bits when we weren't looking? Did Kyle Schwartz just drive straight through that? Because if he did, I mean, to be fair, I don't know. Maybe.
Where does he go? No, he did, because he can't go right because he got pinched out.
You think it's too narrow? You think it's too narrow to go through?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, just went right through the barrier.
He did go through the middle, right. So, okay, I would expect Schwartz might be in a bit of trouble for that. They may pick him up on it, but it's about the podium, really, isn't it? It's Olofsson, Arlen Kotlinski. Where is Howman? That is Arlen Kotlinski and Howman in the background. Olofsson is coming out. Red flag.
Red flag is out, so they will stop it. You can see, looks like McGuinness getting outside of his car. His front left, the right of Janssen, the front end here of the 55, that's Lane Michaela.
That's taken a huge impact, Jared. Look at that. So that entire structure there holds out the front of the clamshell bodywork on the front of these NRX Next cars. That's a big hit for Michaela.
Oh, my gosh. So Simon Olofsson, look, Kasper Janssen, the front end here of the 55, that's Lane Michaela. The front end here of the 55, that's Lane Michaela. That's a big hit for Michaela. That is 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 a big hit for Michaela. That So slowing things down here a little bit with the next. The red flag is out. Admittedly, those two with the broken wheel, we saw McGuinness, and I believe it wasn't Michaela, it was Simon Olaf. No, it wasn't Olafson, excuse me. So
Olafson,
yeah, we're going to quickly
Olafson
get
was
him out.
out front. I don't know where. I can't even remember where. It was a lot,
Right,
you guys would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
That's
Casper Janssen. His front right was broken. McGuinness's front left was broken, but they continued on. Just pull off. I'm sorry, mate. You're not going to win.
Yeah, I think there is a point. I suppose the trouble is they're desperately trying to outlast the other car and nick a championship point. When you think last year the title was decided by a point, you can kind of see it, but likewise, yeah, maybe not.
I mean, in stage rally, I get it. You kind of maybe lean and do something creative. We've seen it in WRC, but in Rallycross, it starts to become a liability because then maybe you're spilling oil, you're putting parts, and we're rebuilding the Joker lap there. Again, I don't know exactly who punched out of the way. I looked over, and then we saw Olafson just go straight through where the opening was because it got blasted by another driver.
Look at the damage on the front there.
That's Lane Michaela.
He's all right in the car. Look at his name sticker. I don't know if they've had to replace the window, but he's basically gets some tape. And has anybody got a Sharpie?
Yeah.
Like, literally made his own name sticker above the 55. That's brilliant. And the Stars and Stripes as well. Do you think he's got enough Stars and Stripes on there, Jared? Yeah. You can have a look at that, please, for me. Is that correct for America?
It looks proper.
It's good enough for me.
You know what it is. It's what you call the 50-yarder. You know what it is from 50 yards away. George McGuinness being forklifted up to that flatbed. Let's take a look at it again, man. This has been crazy.
So this is McGuinness inside Janssen, yeah? Janssen kind of does turn in, but then Janssen gets fired off to the left, and as he comes back on, he hits McGuinness, who gets fired to the right. Watch McGuinness here. It goes off the side of the road. That's where Olafson rolled yesterday. McGuinness now doesn't seem to get on the brake, goes across a bunch of cables, which I think are ours. Oh, wow, yeah, that's. I'm surprised we didn't lose more stuff. And I thought we might get red flag there, Jared, because he was sitting in just below the curbs on the very high-speed section. Now, I must say as well, I wonder if they'll call this race, and go, we've done enough race distance and just award the positions, or maybe, if they're going to restart, there's going to be a few people. I don't know whether or not Lane Michaela seems keen to get back to the start grid, but I'd be ripping the front off that car so you can see.
Yeah, it might be the case, but still repositioning our Joker lap. All right, well, we're seeing all the havoc up here in the booth, but cool, calm, and collected, Katie Osborne.
Bird's eye view here, come on in. Robin Larson, you can see, is pacing over here, back and forth. I also caught him stretching earlier, as he said he's known to do that before a final, gets a little tense in the legs. You're doing your pace and moving here. Is that nerves, or what is that right now?
I think so. It's like, now it's all in, like in the final, where we want to be and what we want to win. So yeah, we got ourselves a good spot, both me and Andreas, so I got him right behind me. So we'll see in the first corner. That's going to be interesting. And the first lap, then we can hammer those laps, hopefully.
Earlier you were telling me a little of the strategy that you have going for this final. Break it down.
Yeah, like always in Rallycross, the start is really important, and it's been working really good this weekend. And just one more, hopefully, and survive that corner. And now it's the last heat for the day and for the weekend, so everybody gonna go for it. And it's been like survive that corner and up the hill, then you can like start to get space from all the cars. So the start, first corner, up the hill, then we'll take it from there.
What are you thinking about that Joker? When and where is that going to happen?
As fast as the car behind me takes it, then I'm gonna do a push lap and go for it and respond.
Responding is going to be key here today. There's quite a few of the drivers that are pretty competitive here. Who do you think is going to be the as you have the arrow on the back, who do you also think might?
I mean, Andreas have the same speed as me, so he's in a really good spot, and Meek have had a really good speed all weekend. So, but you know, all the drivers are really good, and you can never count out Travis Pastrana. He's gonna come there, you know that. Yeah. So it's gonna be tough. It's just the first corner, how the corner is gonna be, if everybody gonna get through it. And yeah, we've seen some problems with the power steering when you touch wheel to wheel. So hopefully we're not gonna have that failure, so everybody can race for it.
Yeah, staying cool, calm, and collected here. Perhaps doing a little more yoga.
Oh, yeah.
Guys.
Thank you so much, Katie. As Robin Larson there, you know, he's a man of few words, but he seems to be chatting quite a bit today.
Well, he's definitely got a bit chatty. One of his favourites, oh yeah, like he says, it's a new thing for Robin. But he's a very funny guy.
Yeah, he is.
He can be a little bit shy at times. He's a hell of a driver. I wonder how much his confidence has picked up. Suddenly he's in the same car as everybody else, and he's killing it. You know, these are some of the best rallycross drivers in the world. And Robin, to be honest with you, Jared has dominated. He was very fast in free practice. He went straight through to the front rows on pole for the final. He was top qualifier. There's only one job left to do. Just got to try and stay chill and get it done.
What's status with here on track? We're hearing that you know.
So Lane Vakala destroyed the Joker lap. Thanks Hal Ridge for letting me know, because he saw it, and we've actually got a replay of that as well, so we can show you what happened to the Joker lap area with Lane Vakala. So here he comes in. So he can't really steer and maybe can't see where he's going. So he comes in and just piles straight to the end of it. Well, wow. I thought he was going to come and just pile straight in there flat out, but no, it wasn't. It was just kind of like...
kind of bullish.
Yeah, like, my steering doesn't work. It's just going this way.
Yeah, that was... I mean, you know what? That's what you can expect with the 8-car final, and is that a shape of things to come with Group E? 8 cars. You know, supercars, 5. Group E, 8.
I think it could be potentially.
Horsepower.
Yeah, so we will see Supercar and Group E as soon as possible. The track clear-up's nearly done. We're just picking out. What have we got? No, I think all the cars. We swept up all the bits. I think we swept up all the bits. Yep. People are going to the parts truck right now and trying to get those cars fixed. But if we run the next final, you guys will see it at home later, probably on social media. So we're going to crack on and we're going to focus on Supercar and Group E, and I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Group E, 8,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive. The debut. It's happening here. Again, 10 stops. We kick things off at this iconic track, and it's been a true pleasure. Like you said, got a little bit of sprinkling, but the weather has cleared up. It's been absolutely tremendous. Just the vibe, the essence, and just overall, I'm really excited for the whole season. And, you know, there's some things that we don't know what to expect. You know, talking about Saudi Arabia, talking about, you know, Finland, Sweden, 2 in Canada, and Travis is really loving to challenge everybody. It's really cool.
Yeah,
so,
I'm really looking forward to the ice racing, you know. So I think we're going to see some huge jumps this year as well. We know there are some at some of the tracks we've been to before. We got a big one here, you know, the A-Shock tabletop here. Let's have a look at what is adjudged to be the A-Shock Big Air moment.
All right, which one was it? Let's find out. And here it is. Ollie Eriksson airing it out, and you can see even Connor Martell. Look at that, Connor Martell. See, you see how much bigger that jump was there. So there's our A-Shock Big Air moment, courtesy of Ollie Eriksson.
Nicely done. I might have been tempted to give it to Passy Penttinen for hanging on to that cross car after a wild ride over the jump.
Yeah, that was exciting. So there's the Big Air moment, and now we throw it down to Katie Osborne once again.
A lot of action happening here on the pre-grid, including Travis Pastrana, who you can tell is talking a little bit about what looks like is a hand and maybe the power steering. No, everything's perfect right before a final. No, you've been kind of standing around. You were one of the first ones down here. There's a little energy now. How does that make you feel as a driver?
No, this is awesome. I tell you what, just to see all the crowd come out. A lot of motocross fans out here, a lot of race fans. So, no, just really cool to show them what this electric car can do. This is my first weekend in it. A lot of the drivers, you know, kind of first time with Gronholm. He's just like, let's send it. And it's really cool because everyone says, oh, well, when you get in, it's going to sound different. It's going to be different. Honestly, I feel like I'm more connected to this car with just being able to hear the tire squeal and being able to hear kind of the noise. And with the exception of the start where you're sitting there like, huh, okay, and then you just get the wind knocked out of you and all of a sudden you're accelerating in a rocket ship. It's really intuitive. So you can change things as we start sliding more, and this is going to be a longer final. We'll be able to adjust kind of, you know, on the fly. When tires start burning off, you know, we have different levels of used tires. I was really lucky to go through from the first, you know, the first heat. A lot of the guys have some pretty wore-out tires getting in there, so they'll be turning that down as they're racing, and I think that's going to be really neat for the drivers to have everything at your fingertips. We can't put the power down that this thing gives out.
So of course the tires are going to come into play. Knowing when to use that nitro boost, what are some of the other keys to really this final.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect about kind of the push to pass. I was like, that's kind of like, I don't know. I was like, that doesn't seem like racing. And now, like, just thinking and talking to Connor Martel, we're like, do we use it here? Do we use it here? And then, we've been getting some rumors of where the other guys are using it and how they're getting time. So looking forward to just having all of this put in the driver's hands, which as a driver, that's all we want. We want equal machinery because we all believe we're the best. We all believe we can win if we had the machinery. And now we have more power than we know what to do with.
Well, it definitely is a driver's game here today. A lot of equal playing fields out here, and we'll see who comes out on top. Jared?
All right, thank you so much, Katie. Thank you, Travis. Good luck to you. So we are finding out that we'll re-rack the remaining cars of the next. We'll see how many laps we have, but what else?
What remains of the remaining cars? I kind of feel sorry for Olofsson, Jared, because he was so far out in front.
Yeah.
Take a look at Lane Vakela pulling up now to row 2. This shot gives you a great idea. He can't see anything. He's already driven through the Joker lap because he couldn't see it. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at the windscreen, too. Like, that is buckled. Mind you, on the passenger side, the driver's side, I'm not seeing windshield wipers.
I was just about to say the same thing,
look,
Jared. Here we go. They're giving it a little clean. So that's one of our. Is that what we're getting? Or is that outside assistance?
Yeah, that's not ideal. I think he's going to give it the old.
No, I think they're giving him the black flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so deemed unsafe and returning to paddock. On this occasion, I have to agree with that.
I agree, too. It's very unfortunate, but, you know, we saw him, one battered and bruised, goes and punches the Joker lap. The car can't run. So, very unfortunate turn of events, but...
Just trying to listen in there to see if we can hear what we're saying. We know what they're saying. One's saying, you're going home. The other's saying, I can carry on.
All right, so as we're finding out what's going to happen here, Lane does pull off down to Katie.
Nicholas Gronholm here, his windshield is looking a little bit banged up. I don't know, it would be difficult for me to drive through it. For you, how difficult is is it knowing that your glass is a bit shattered?
Yeah, well, in this sport, it's quite normal. We sometimes you drive behind other guys, and then that's the result. So, yeah, it's better to be in front.
Travis, yeah, definitely. Travis just made a call out to you saying that you're one of the good guys out here as well, especially as a rookie. Does that build the confidence going out in this final?
Yeah, I mean, I had a good semifinal. I was really happy with the car for the first time, and also my driving. It takes time to get into the car, but we're getting there step by step. And anyway, it's been really fun to race, and yeah.
A lot of fun, and this is a guy who just a couple of days ago knew he would be in this seat. Jared?
Thank you so much, Katie. And Nicholas, I love the insight there. So Lane Vakela does pull off, and we are finding out that the red flag was waived because that
of the cars driving around with the wheels hanging off, Jared. You were bang on the money. We were both saying, look, guys, you know, I get it. If you've got 2 corners to go and you're battling for the win, you try and cling on. When it's lap 1 and your wheels at 90 degrees to the road, you know, they're just tearing up the track. And Pat Duran won't have that. You don't have Pat Duran coming knocking on your door. Let's get going. We're not going to see so much door knocking in turn 1. This time, there's only 4 cars. Olofsson has to kick the clutch twice off the line. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski alongside. In the background, Kyle Schwartz coming through. Tommy Howman going to shut the door on Schwartz. Arlen-Kotlinski slots in. Jared, 3 of these are going to get on the podium.
Yeah.
1 is not. So Howman looking to try and get past Arlen-Kotlinski, but Olofsson, can he hold on for that dream win after a lot of carnage?
Oh my gosh, Olofsson had one heck of a day yesterday, but now fights back. And speaking of fighting back, Michaela was going wheel to wheel, almost pinching out Olofsson, but he fought back. Hallman there in 3rd and Schwartz in 4th. And like you said, just one barely outside watching and looking at that podium.
I'm impressed with Kyle Schwartz. Like I say, he's been in Scandinavia a couple of times recently on events I've been announcing. And to be fair, he's been learning. I watched an onboard of his from Finland, which he posted on social, and he's obviously been a little bit more comfortable in that car. But Jared, what he's making a lot of use of, or has done until just now, is following quicker drivers and seeing what they do. It's such a great way to learn, especially in a spec chassis. If they can do it, you can do it. And if you can't, then you need to go, what settings are they running, and try and dial it in. So Schwartz continuing that learning curve and doing a good job.
All right, so Olofsson, you saw at angle and then straighten it out on that Talladega turn. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski sitting 2nd, only 0.34 seconds behind.
Arlen-Kotlinski, very, very quick driver. Johan Kristoffersson's teammate Extreme E for Rosberg X Racing that took a win at the start of the season a long time ago now. It feels like back in
January.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, February. Yeah, it was a long time ago. We were supposed to have a round in Sardinia, but and on the coast of Africa, but that's not happening for now. We've got a double header coming up with that. She'll be back in action with Johan. She obviously feels like she's quick, Jared, because she's jumped out of row and got herself back in. So Arlen Kotlinski, look, is only, what is she now? She's dropped, okay, the timing screen now updates. She's 1.1 behind Hellman, so she can hang on to that gap to Hellman. She can hang on to P2 because he hasn't jokered yet.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems like the split that we've been seeing going into that Joker lap. But Olafsson, like you said, this would be great redemption after a very tumultuous Saturday, but getting the win here on Sunday, and had that such a dominant lead until the hell on a handbasket. Wheels went there, Jokers went there, front ends and windshield wipers, carnage. So we are seeing Olafsson still out front, 1.2 seconds.
Hellman, I think Hellman will stay out, Jared. So basically, you let Olafsson 1.2 back to Hellman. There's 1.4 look back to Arlen Kotlinski. So Hellman has edged a little bit over Arlen Kotlinski. Now it's 1.7. So he will stay out. Bearing in mind this is 6 laps, he'll stay out until he feels like he's got enough of a gap. He might then go, before Olafsson, but if not, he'll hang on to the final lap if he thinks it's going to be the difference, obviously, between P2 and P3. Just trying to edge it up a little bit. Arlen Kotlinski coming back by a 10th there.
Olafsson still out front. When is that Joker lap going to be hit by Olafsson and Hallman? And that split between Michaela and Hallman still continues to be the same.
Yeah, that's the one that's absolutely key. Olafsson being a little more defensive now in terms of his lines. He's obviously starting to see yellow in his mirrors. That's what you want as the driver behind you. You make them drive on their mirrors. And that's why you see in all forms of racing people dipping out from the slipstream. Even when they don't have a chance to pass, it doesn't matter. It means the driver in front has a cheeky look in the mirror. They're not looking at the road in front. All the while you're making the drive on their mirrors, there's a chance they'll miss a braking point by just a 10th, and you can tear a couple of tenths out of the gap. And he's right behind now.
Hallman is applying the pressure. Is Olafsson messing up? Or is Hallman just out driving him right now?
Hellman knows he needs to make a gap on Arlen Kotlinski so that when he takes his Joker, he can hold on to P2. But I tell you what, now he's got that gap, Jared, he's going to change his target. So this isn't now about hanging on to P2 as Hellman does the fastest lap of the race. This is about trying to take the win. Look at the attitude in this car. We've got a lap to go. They're going to split the strategies, are they? They are. Olafsson goes this lap. Hellman's got 1 lap to try and take it off him.
Wow, I'm really surprised by that. I think like you said, that technique of dumbing him in there. I think Olafsson was trying to get Hallman there with him. But no, Hallman's not today, Junior. hold my drink. And so Hallman's going to continue on through the course. Olafsson in second, and Hallman tries to look at 1.4 to 1.7. He's gaining more ground ahead. So it's going to come down to this Joker lap. They're going to go uphill, drop down, and go into that Joker.
Hellman's done a brilliant job here. Arlen Kotlinski's actually coming under a little bit of pressure in the background, but we're interested in this fight out front. Coming down the hill, so Hellman to Joker. How late can he go on the brakes? Can he hold on to it? Watch you. He's going to go in as late as he dares. He's got to keep it tidy on the inside. It's a lovely entry, but on the inside line, Olafsson's going to have more speed as they come down to the line. Olafsson takes it at the flag.
Oh, look at that.
Tommy Hellman slots into P2, just 0.4 of a second. What a great race between them. And Arlen Kotlinski just holds on from Kyle Schwartz. Schwartz was all over the back of Arlen Kotlinski. I wonder if there was a problem for Michaela because she dropped a long way back from Hellman. Decent race considering half the contenders didn't turn up for the second running.
We started with 8, and guess what? Simon Olafsson, who was on his roof yesterday at the beginning of the day, ends the weekend by getting the victory. Congratulations. Simon Olsen gets the victory. Tommy Hallman gets second, and Michaela Arlen Kotlinski unofficially gets third. Let's see if we get that graphic and celebrate here. And there it is. The flags are waving, the wind is blowing, and the victory is now the ownership of Simon Olafsson. Congratulations, Simon Olafsson, Tommy Hellman, and Michaela Arlen Kotlinski, 1, 2, and 3 at the first and second round of Nitro Rallycross. Here it is. The Group E final is finally upon us. 8 vehicles, 8,000 horsepower, making history. First time you're seeing 8 of these vehicles, wheel to wheel. Who's coming out on top? Down to you, Katie Osborne. What's up?
Well, I can just tell you the pre-grid energy is phenomenal out here. You can tell the tension is building. These drivers are laser focused, and many of them feel, I don't know what's going to go on during this race. And that's what Andreas Backerud said. He said he's going to try and hold on to it in turn one, just get through it clean and not make any mistakes. Obviously easy to say, but he's going to be starting on the second row on the inside, right behind Robin Larson. Now to Robin's side, on the outside of that first row is going to be Chris Meek. He was one of the ones who said, I have absolutely no clue what to expect. He said this is one of the first times that he's racing side by side with other competitors. That in itself is a challenge. And of course, just wanting to make sure he comes out of this race clean, that would be a success for him, ultimately wanting the win.
All right, so there we go. Just a little bit of a holdup there from Nicholas Grunholm in that Olsberg's vehicle. We're seeing come in Fraser McConnell. We're seeing O.C. Vibey. And then finally,
yeah,
our final car.
Vabey, of course, in because Bennett was out. I think Bennett was actually waiting in the background as well because he would have been first reserve, although he'd been pushed back. So he was in the back of the pre-grid to see whether or not there was a chance he could make it. Watch Baby here. He's just going to do a little tyre clean in the background. Okay, we're going to see the grid. There it is, 800 odd horsepower unleashed. 1,000 is the peak. That's what they get close to when they can push this Nitro boost button, which was what Travis was talking about. They're all not sure where everybody else is using it. That's the view from Chris Meek, the World Rally star, looking down towards turn one.
So here we are. We are in the cockpit of Meek. Talk about Chris Meek there, and here is our starting grid. On pole, you got Chris Meek and Robin Larson on that front row. Second row, Andreas Backerud, back in the blue. Then you got number 199 in the second row, driving that Vermont sports car. That is Travis Pastrana. In the third row, you got Oliver Eriksson against a gentleman who has a very famous last name and a great racer himself, Nicholas Grunholm. In the final row, Fraser McConnell from Jamaica versus that of old Christian Vabey. Here we go. There we are riding with the 199. Let's see what kind of focus this gentleman has. We're making history. The 30-second card is up. You can see Meek. All eyes are on Meek. Larson feeling confident. He wins the bracket battles, but now here he is. He is on pole. 10 seconds to go. We will spell Nitro, and we will send it for the first time ever. Nitro Rallycross, 8,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive, purpose-built Rallycross machines. NITRO, let's go! Send in!
Great start, Larson backward up the inside of Meek, immediately Pastrana trying to come around the outside of all of them. Chris Meek trying to make a move. He's in the middle of a Rallycross bundle now. Pastrana pitches the car sideways, tries to pass. Meek on the handbrake, up on the inside, both the RX Cartel. Oh, Pastrana goes round, contact in the background. It's Robin Larson leading from Andreas Backerud. Fraser McConnell has come up from the very back of the grid, and then behind him it's Ollie Eriksson and Niklas Grönholm.
Oh my gosh, out of breath here as the RX Cartel is 1 and 2. Fraser McConnell, like you said, come from that back row. It does look like the block, of course, was hit, and it might have been Ollie Eriksson. What do we got?
McConnell's got a problem. The rear left on McConnell's car is facing out. Watch the car, it's crabbing down straight on. It loses the toe link now, so McConnell going to try and hang on to that. Meanwhile, out in front of him, Backward will attack his teammate. These two will both want the win badly, so RX Cartel out front, McConnell super sideways in the background. We've got 5 cars in the mix. Where did Chris Meek? Chris Meek ended up at the back of the pack.
Oh, such a turn of events there for Meek, who's having a blast, but unfortunately, as we're taking a look at Niklas Grönholm, look at RX Cartel, 1 and 2. Fraser McConnell being challenged by Ollie Eriksson.
Ollie Eriksson desperate to find a way past McConnell. He knows that McConnell's car is damaged. Oh, Meek pulls in. Unlucky for the World Rally star. Not going to take his debut Rallycross victory here. Up at the top, though, looking on the inside line. Ollie Eriksson tries to make that pass. He's almost alongside Fraser McConnell. How is McConnell holding on to this, Jared?
McConnell is absolutely focused, equipment or not. He has got the spirit of Jamaica riding on his back. Look at RX Cartel going for it. Backerud goes for the Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
So Backerud goes Joker. That's not what he needed, Jared, because he's come out behind a limping Fraser McConnell and Ollie Eriksson. So I think they've got the tactics wrong here. Grönholm, though, he was covering off Grönholm. So he's covering off Niklas Grönholm, but this has played into the hands of Larson. If I were Larson's spotter, I'd have him out front as long as possible. As Larson goes long on the jump, stay out there, because behind you, Fraser McConnell's getting the job done for you.
What I really think here is it's about attrition, keeping your car together. We just saw this with Next, and you got to think this is the most laps, the most cars that we've seen. This is basically its maiden voyage, so keep it away from other cars. And again, noted, how is Fraser McConnell still continuing on through the course? He's currently sitting second.
So the others are struggling to find a way through. Larson goes Joker, going to try and come out in front of Fraser McConnell, and he does just. So Larson comes out in front of Fraser McConnell. You're seeing Pastrana back to the paddock. We need to see those leaders. There they are. So it's Larson who has jokered in front of McConnell, who has not, and neither is Ericsson. So actually, Backward's still on here for P2, but the opportunity to win, I think, has been taken away here. Larson's tactics have been brilliant.
Real quick, Fraser McConnell with his fastest lap with a broken limp, that back left on lap 4 of 6. Fraser McConnell is really he's getting a lot of attention right now.
Jared,
and holding up Ollie Ericsson.
He's holding up on the inside line. He's going so defensive here, just not quite enough room for them to pass at Lydden Hill. He can't get through. Larson comes through. He's still got a couple of laps to go. McConnell and Ericsson still have the joker. How far back is Backward? He's 0.9 off the back of this battle. Trying to think whether or not behind him.
1.4, look at that.
And Gronholm's only half a second behind him, Jared. So could Gronholm get onto the podium here? We'll have to see.
I'll tell you what, Andreas Backrud needs to steer clear of making contact. Backrud just getting in position over Oliver Ericsson. Robin Larson, look at him, clean air. He has not been bothered. He's like, whatever you guys do back there, I'm doing my own thing, man.
Fraser McConnell still holds on to second on the road. Behind him now Backrud, who has jokered. Behind them, Ollie Ericsson, Niklas Gronholm for Olsberg's MSE.
It does bear repeating, early retirement for Chris Meek, Travis Pastrana, you saw him go back to the pits, but Robin Larson, and here, look at Fraser McConnell, who has not hit his joker lap, and just as I say that, here goes Fraser McConnell in that A-Shock vehicle. Again, Jamaica flying the flag, looks like he goes back 2 positions, and finds himself almost in 3rd.
So he nearly got it, didn't he, but Gronholm's just snuck through. Larson up on the banking with his teammate Andreas Backward behind. Backward's just done the fastest lap of the race. And we're hearing 3-second penalty for Fraser McConnell, so he's going to be dropped back even further.
Oh, what a bummer. But I'll tell you what, like I said, he's flying the Jamaican flag, the pride of Jamaica right now. A-Shock vehicle, but RX Cartel is now 1 and 2. Look at this. We talked about Robin Larson and all his bad luck last year, maybe, but here he is in a spec class, making history, the debut of the FC1X here at Lydden Hill, this iconic track, the birthplace of Rallycross, and it looks like Robin Larson and Andreas Backrud, the RX Cartel, shocked the world, and literally a shocking vehicle that is the FC1X, RX Cartel 1 and 2, and Niklas Gronholm, who drove a car for the first time on Saturday, gets a podium spot. The famous name, still making it proud.
Brilliant job by Niklas Gronholm for that P3, but Larson this weekend absolutely unstoppable. Took the TQ, won the first heat race, went straight to the final, and now he wins the first ever final for FC1X. Pastrana looks disappointed, Meek will be too. I think we could have had an even better battle there. We'll have to pick the bones of what happened in turn 1. But a good, brilliant performance from Larson this weekend. Absolutely fantastic.
We had so many words with Robin Larson. So, oh yeah, you said. So you know what he's gonna say a lot tonight? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go get tattooed later tonight with Street Bike Tom because he got his. We're gonna get our matching penny black, stamps. But awesome racing here. A great debut.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna get oh yeah.
All right, and here are the results. Robin Larson, the RX Cartel, gets the first ever win in Group E here at Lydden Hill. Andreas Backrud, his RX Cartel Monster Energy teammate, and then rounding out that podium, Niklas Gronholm, who drove the car he was sitting on his couch on Friday night. He shows up here Saturday and he wins and gets on the podium, 3rd place at round 1 of Nitro Rallycross. The global tour begins here.
Well, there they are down with the winners. You can see Katie Osborne down there. She's heading across. Larson gives the roof a little tap. He's obviously stoked with that. His teammate Backward is alongside him. It's a great performance from these two. He heads to greet Andreas as he climbs out the car. A 1-2 for the RX Cartel, and Katie Osborne is with them now.
It is a congratulatory hug for RX Cartel, but first we gotta pass this sucker over to Robin Larson. Well-deserved, a nearly perfect weekend. You told me yesterday that you don't really celebrate. Are we celebrating today?
It felt better now. Like I felt like I needed a push, and it was so rutty on the gravel, so it was so easy to do some mistakes, and you don't want to do a penalty now. I would be killed with the team manager if I'd take a penalty in the lead. So I'm really happy we could secure this 1 and 2 with Backward and team. So we had a struggling last year, and to take a win here in the first event with the new car and everything. So
I think it's been a really good first race for the future.
A big deep breath there by Robin Larsson, and it is time to celebrate with your fans and your team here. Congratulations.
Come on, Robin. He said he wanted to get on top of his car, but this is a great way to start. I know he wants to damage it, but you know what? Look at Andreas Backrud, his haircut. Right before we started the race, he's going to get his haircut over in the RX Cartel booth. I think that haircut helped him out a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Look at Larsson, he's getting his cap on, getting himself prepped. Oh, photos first, look, yeah. There. Oh, no, he says. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. All right, so again, as they're celebrating down there, throwing it down to Katie Osborne, who's with the Rude Dude, Snackaroo, Andreas Backarud.
That's right. He shaved some time off with that haircut, too.
Look here.
Look at that. But that was when strategy paid for you. That race was all about it for you, and it worked. You capitalized at the right time.
Yeah, I think it was a bit bold there. Not my haircut, but the move we did in the Joker. I think it was to cover off on Niklas, but I felt there, Robin, he took his time around the track the first 2 laps, you know. We both were saving on the boost, and I took the Joker, and all of a sudden I'm fourth, and Oliver was all over the place. You know, I tried to avoid any mistakes. Very happy that it pays off everything we have done in the winter. Robin doing an awesome job, JC Race Technique, the RX Cartel, DRR, everybody putting their effort in. So I think we have done the best job out of all the teams for preparation, and that's a big thank you to the crew.
Absolutely. You know, guys, I like that he used the word bold. It was bored out there. Congratulations, Jared.
Thank you so much, Katie. You could see just Robin Larsson. I mean, I know he's excited. Like we said, you know, and here's the RX Cartel coming back in the mix and debuting these vehicles. Great to see Backarud back in the mix full time. Really excited to see him. But, you know, there's, again, so much history that has been made here over the years. Notable names, Larsson, Backarud, and of course, Grunholm, another one.
That's actually, don't forget, it's Larsson's first ever Nitro Rallycross win as well. So we've got a new winner in Nitro Rallycross. Great stuff. Now, Katie is down there with a man who didn't even drive this car until yesterday morning, Niklas Grunholm. What a brilliant performance by him.
Yeah, I imagine it was basically like a fairy tale weekend for Nicholas Gromholm. Not only driving this vehicle, but you're on the podium as well. How special is this moment, knowing that, you know, it's Thursday, you got a call coming on in?
Yeah, it's feels a bit weird, to be honest. Like from the semi-final on, I knew I have, like, now I dialed in all the corners. I now, you know, understood how to drive each one, and I felt comfortable, and yeah, just thought that, you know, it's 8-car final, anything can happen, and as we saw, you know, it was punctures, it was everything. So yeah, I managed to joker early with no one else doing it, so I kind of just had free track to push, and yeah, it felt good.
It felt good indeed. A third place for Nicholas Grönholm, and his first time out, not only in this car, but with Nitro Rallycross. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, so just some exciting turn of events here. We're going to clear the cars, and just overall an exciting event here this weekend. Lydden Hill delivered. What a great place to kick off making history.
Let's take a look at the start then. So much was going on. Grönholm tries to go around the outside. Look, Meek's up there already. Meek's now really sideways.
Oh my gosh, you see Travis re-enter?
Yeah.
He went high and then dove down.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm a little confused as to exactly what happened there. It's I'd need to see it about 5. Here's Pastrana then over
Watch
the top.
him grip
Does
up.
he suddenly hook up?
Grips up and
he does. So I feel sorry for Chris, because Chris had nowhere to go there, and Travis will feel bad about that too. But it's just and
then OC went to him.
Yeah.
I mean, early on, Grönholm went high.
Come back from that, and Fraser,
he went off course.
Fraser, if you remember, Jared came. And this is the other thing actually. Hero drive Fraser McConnell. He got P4. His best lap was a 44.6. So he's only 7/10 of the quickest lap of the race, which was Andreas Backrud, with a car that never went straight once from turn 1 onwards. So amazing stuff. Look at the rear left on Fraser McConnell's car. He's constantly trying to steer him in a different direction. So he's done a great job there. But I'll tell you what, DRR, Dreyer and Reinbold Racing with JC Race Technique, they put down a marker here. It's a 1-2 for 2 of the 4 cars that they run. They run the 2 cars, of course, for the RX Cartel, and Larsson, the perfect weekend.
And looking inside Meek's car, you saw Travis Pastrana just jump right in there. Ollie Eriksson almost had it. Backrud, early joker lap for him, but he still holds on to that second position. And there it is. You see hitting that Yokohama Tire joker lap. And there it is. Robin Larson, Andreas Backerud, 1 and 2. Overall, just an exciting weekend. If this is the shape of things to come this season as we kick things off here at this infamous track, I'm excited for 2022 and going to 23.
So we've just had a great weekend. You know, we've some lovely stories. The N-Hobbs at P1 and 2 in cross car. You know, in NRX next, Simon Olafsson with that crazy roll yesterday on this big jump here at Lydden Hill. He came back and took a win, and then our first ever FC1X final. I think it's great. I think as well we've shown this is going to be super competitive this year. Travis said it. Everybody thinks they can win when they've got the same equipment. This year we've given them all the same equipment.
Well, thank you so much, Coley. Thank you to Katie Osborne. Thank you to Street Bike Tommy. Thank you for joining us, making history here at Lydden Hill, round 1 of 10 of Nitro Rallycross. Congratulations to Robin Larson, being our first ever winner of the Group E Class N Championship. All right, we'll see you at our next stop here on the Nitro Rallycross Global Tour. Let's get ready to send it. Nitro Rallycross is cars that fly and track that thrill. Look at that, some massive there. Let's go!
Proven Wealth Limited. We are experts in investments, stock brokerage, financial advisory, corporate finance, cambio and foreign exchange, asset management, unit trust management, pension fund management. Let us manage your wealth to suit your lifestyle. Contact us today at 876-908-3800 or visit our website at provenwealth.com.
Shake and go with true shake. Shake and go. Grab a true shake and go. When me have to put in the work, but I'm moving slow. Grab a true shake and go. School time and not joke time. Office study hard, brain food time. Grab a true shake and go. When we up in the gym, we have to stay healthy and fit. Grab a true shake and go. Shake and go with True Shake. Packed with 9 grams of protein, 24 key vitamins and minerals to keep you going. Grab a True Shake and go.
Turn your passion into winnings with JustBet. Watch your favorite international leagues and tournaments and get in the game with JustBet. We have the best odds on over 100 sports: football, basketball, boxing, rugby, motorsports, even virtual matches. Register on the JustBet mobile platform, mobile.justbetja.com, or visit one of our over 100 JustBet locations island-wide. What are you waiting for? Get in the game and win big with JustBet.
It's Tools Hardware and Supplies sizzling summer specials! Best-selling restock items, plus new arrivals at the lowest prices. Specials on windows, bathroom sets, doors, and more. Special discounts on porcelain tiles with unique designs. Plus, tin sets, free delivery in the corporate area and Portmore. Conditions apply.
So, come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road, or online at toolsja.com. Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Love and happiness.
Me have the right thing for you.
I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back this feeling.
Harry! Harry! What happened to you?
Black Stallion, the bedroom tonic. Get a box today at gas stations island-wide. Bring out the stallion in you.
The personality and the charisma were amazing. I think one of the best players in the history.
Football evolved in some way with him that I didn't see that before.
He can stand on the shoulder with anyone from any era. He's a fantastic player.
He was a phenomenal player.
He makes you fall in love with football. I still show my son videos of Ronaldinho,
plan. I said, that's how you move a ball.
King of the Samba, High Chief of the great entertainers, Ronaldinho was quite simply one of a kind. A smiling assassin blessed with divine magic in both feet, he stole the hearts of a generation of football fans with his outrageous talent and infectious love of the game. Ronaldinho joined an ailing Barcelona in 2003, and when he belatedly made his Champions League bow a year later, a sensational goal against AC Milan showed exactly what was in store. On a last 16 trip to Chelsea later that season, Ronaldinho provided one of the most iconic moments in Champions League history.
He dropped his shoulder and toe punted it past Petr Cech. I was right behind him. You know, he had 3 players around him, nowhere to go, and he produced a bit of magic. And I still think he's probably one of the best players I've been on a football pitch with.
Stamford Bridge, last-minute goal, that little shimmy with the toe poke into the corner was just outrageous.
He did stuff that you just thought, did I just see that? Did he just do that? And I think that's what we love as players, as fans.
The Ballon d'Or duly followed later that year, and Ronaldinho soon got his revenge on Chelsea, scoring another devastating solo goal.
For me as Brazilian, so we were all the time like aware of Brazilian players, and Ronaldinho in that moment was the start of the world.
You get tight to him. He was strong as an ox as well. People don't realise that. And he could manipulate the ball with all surfaces of his feet, played the game with a smile on his face. So it was a real privilege to share the pitch with him.
His perfect cocktail of spellbinding close control and ability to create space for others led Barcelona to their first Champions League final in 12 years. Ronaldinho was heavily involved from the off, and he played a key role in Jens Lehmann's early red card. Arsenal's 10 men dug in, with Sol Campbell opening the scoring, and for a while it looked as though it was not going to be Ronaldinho's night.